Okay. How's everyone doing today? I'll give it a couple minutes for people to hop on in. But today we are going to be continuing what we did last time. And trying to finish up, catching up on the story. Anyways, just as a quick reminder, last time, not Wither to Shine, but rather the main to the Galaxies. We got about halfway through the event. Only 2 stage achievements left, so really the majority of this next remaining 13 nodes is like cutscenes. Fun. Well, basically, we are trying to figure out what's going on with Nanami and like what led to her situation in the current timeline. And we're trying to figure out what she left behind for us. To see where we're going to be going forward from next. So, without further ado, I'm just doing something real quick. And let's get started, shall we? Oh yeah, actually I do want to try to test something, make sure I'm still logged in on... Okay, yep. Looks like we're all good there on the YouTubes. So, let's get started then. Into the unknown. Babylonia is leaving Earth, isn't it? On the other end of the line, Celica has a deep furrow on her face. A trap? Yes, we detected life signals inside this conservation area and we decided to proceed with the rescue operation since threat level readings were very low. Except when we made it deeper, our reconnaissance specialist Skizzly didn't find any actual signs of human presence. Until we made our way to the deepest part of the conservation area. Masses of flesh-fused creature lie embedded within these red tide crystals, and they are pulsing rhythmically like they were alive. There was a bird or some small animal at the center of each mass of flesh, and they were each letting out unbearable cries. We immediately decided to retreat when we saw this, but at that exact moment the punching virus concentration shot up. On the other side of the screen, Celica takes a visibly deep breath. Understood. Please, stay in that area for now. We'll send someone to assist you right away. Also, please put Nanami on the line. Yes, the construct who guided you here. Oh, it's Celica! Long time no see, Celica! Sitting in Xavier's magic workshop, Nanami casually applies gel to the wounds on her frame with a relaxed expression. It's been a while, Nanami. Babylonia is shifting its strategic approach to preserve what's left of humanity's civilization to prevent further losses. We plan to gather both residents and refugees from the conservation areas on Earth and withdraw all patrol officers and staff stationed there. Just get to the point, Celica. I don't have much time. Since Babylonia hopes to maintain a good working relationship with the Church of Machina, this is merely a notification about Babylonia's strategic adjustments. Babylonia's planning to leave Earth, isn't it? Such a naked truth that lies behind the diplomatic facade. Celica falls silent, caught off guard by Nanami's blunt question. "3,648 days, 10 years, and Babylonia has lost over half of its force of arms with barely anything to show for it. The red tide surrounding the Hedra Tower has evolved into something that barely any construct soldier can withstand. But the constructs from the elite squads are still..." "Oh, so you do know that they're from the elite squads, huh? How many elite squads are there for us to send to Earth? How many construct soldiers are we gonna turn into specialized constructs? We already lost the Grave and Commandant, for God's sake." I apologize for my outburst. It's just, we really can't afford losses anymore. On the remote sensing display, the mutated red tide, laced with unidentified white substances, creep across the earth like blood vessels and coils around the very lands humanity once called home. Indeed, we can't afford further losses. In that saturation mission, we deployed 35 construct squads. Only 4 made it back, with nothing but a single sample of mutated red tide from the closest approach to the Hedra Tower. And this is all we have to show for it, having made the sacrifices we have. But we did analyze the substance within the mutated red tide. At least now we know what kind of enemy we're facing.
Has the Science Council finished their analysis?
Yeah. According to Asimov's findings, we cannot identify the components within the mutated red tide. Doesn't match any known substance found on Earth in the past, present, or projected future. A deathly silence falls over the conference room. What exactly are we up against? Commander turns around, his graying hair and bloodshot eyes betraying his exhaustion.
It's time to draw our conclusions, President.
At first, they thought this was just another disaster they could contain. Just like when the red tide first began to spread, or when the twins first took human form. Just like when the Hedra Tower rose from the ground, or when the dark bolt struck Babylonia. They have survived seemingly unsurvivable disasters and defeated seemingly undefeatable enemies. And this time, they were sure they would succeed like they always have. Almost everyone in Babylonia thought the same way, and they had even started preparing victory celebrations in advance. Everyone was working at breakneck speed to get themselves ready for when you're back. Oh, never mind. I can't wait to see her in this new coating. Not just for Lucia, but for the Commandant too. I can't wait to see all the Grey Ravens standing together in the banquet hall. Babylonia deployed numerous squads of constructs to the ground in an attempt to reclaim the conservation areas. Most of them, however, returned empty-handed. To gather detailed information about the mutated red tide, Babylonia saturated the area around the Hedra Tower with multiple squad deployments. They all, however, failed. Ladies and gentlemen, I once believed we would succeed the way we did with every other miracle our civilization has achieved thus far. But this time, I'm sorry. President, we still have soldiers. We can still fight. But even if we could reclaim the conservation areas, The CPF can no longer filter out the corrupted punishing virus, and the emergency serum the Science Council has developed is barely effective. Asimov continues to work while ill, and several elderly professors from the Science Council have already collapsed from complete exhaustion. Even our elite squads have started taking casualties. No, that's impossible. Praying Mantis was completely wiped out during their escort mission, and Owl Squad's captain is their sole survivor. Shycox Kamui has gone missing during his mission to investigate the depths of the mutated red tide. Kamui went to search for him, but neither have returned yet. The area is completely submerged in mutated red tide. Even Wancha, whose frame can barely withstand the corruption, has spent a long time searching the perimeter but found no way to break through. I'm sorry, but our current losses have pushed multiple indicators dangerously close to critical thresholds. I cannot let human civilization end here. They gave everything, hoping to return to Earth. They lit up Earth at one region at a time, striving to rebuild what was once the human civilization. Countless lives lie buried here, and countless new lives have awakened in its place. But this time, humanity's children may never return home again. They will be forced into exile and venture into the unknown depths of space. As emergency alarms blare, new developments emerge. Council members sit in silence for a moment before quietly dispersing. In the empty council chamber, Hassan stands transfixed by the blue planet floating in the center. All that we've done, everything we've done, does it really amount to anything at all? No one answers his question. Indeed, Babylonia is preparing to leave Earth's orbit. She is not surprised by Babylonia's decision. Leaving Earth's orbit? What do you plan to do after that? We're going to contact as many people as we can. Babylonia is preparing to leave Earth's orbit. All surviving humans and constructs on Earth have the right to enter Babylonia and depart with us. The operation codename is Departure. If the Church of Machina is willing, Nanami won't be leaving with you. Nanami still has her own business to attend to. However, Nanami would like to make a deal with you, since I don't dislike Babylonia. A deal? As the conversation turns to negotiations between the two parties, Celica straightens her posture and forces herself to stay alert. What does the Church of Machina want, and what can they offer in return? Starship's blueprints and experimental data. Don't you already have a starship? The Church of Machina did not attempt to hide their activities on Earth from Babylonia. Babylonia already detected the starship's presence right when it emerged from the void. But Babylonia currently lacks both the resources and incentive to engage in diplomatic talks with this emerging power. That's right, but the Church of Machina's starship isn't quite complete. For now, it can only navigate along Earth's surface. We need more data and design specifications to verify the starship's integrity and prevent any unnecessary complications once we venture into space. No one knows if there's another habitable planet out there in space, and even mechanoids would need to be thoroughly prepared for such a lengthy journey. In exchange, Nanami and the mechanoids of the Church of Machina can help you complete your mission. While the mutated red tide poses a severe threat to humans, we mechanoids can remain unharmed as long as we avoid direct contact. The Church of Machina has a complete gear army at our disposal. While searching for our fellow mechanoids, we can help you locate more human survivors. Please allow us a moment to deliberate. As the communication cuts off briefly, Nanami sits at the table, her gaze wandering towards Xavier as helping maintain the construct. Whoa, these parts must be ancient. How are they still being used? We're all out of replacement parts. Babylonia's factories are operating around the clock, but parts are being consumed at a faster pace than they're made. I'm actually one of the lucky ones. I was at least able to find similar parts to modify and use. Not everyone is as lucky as I am, though. Carson lets out a sigh. Speaking of the devils. With that much wear and tear, one more shot and the recoil might just send your elbow flying. That's because the factory doesn't have replacement parts for my model anymore. Our captain took us all to search for parts back then. We spent forever searching but only found 2 pieces that barely fit. And our captain personally filed them down to make them work. Captain. The 2 constructs fall silent. Their captain never made it out of the mutated red tide. As an army listens to their conversation silently, the terminal chimes with a brief video call notification. We have concluded our deliberations. She rises from behind the conference table and gives Nanami a respectful nod. I, as the acting president of Babylonia, hereby approve this arrangement. Please transmit your flight coordinates. We will send representatives to your starship as soon as possible to sign the agreement. No problem. Nanami will sync the coordinates to you right away. Acting President, what happened to Hassan? President Hassan is currently on medical leave. His continuous work schedule has left him completely exhausted. As per President Hassan's instructions, before he fell into a coma, I am temporarily serving as acting president. Rest assured, though, that all relevant matters will still be forwarded to President Hassan for review. Give me a moment. And I'm just, checking something. Okay, simple enough. Continuing on. Babylonia's representatives arrived shortly after the meeting. After signing the agreement, as they promised, after signing the agreement, they, as promised, delivered the starship blueprints and test data that the Church of Machina requested. Transports from Babylonia begin their busy runs between the Church of Machina starship and Babylonia. Thank goodness. These people got the treatment they need in time thanks to you all. Don't mention it. I mean, this is part of our arrangement. And I'll gather some people to escort them to our transports. Bluebird number 2 is almost acting at capacity. We might need to deploy large-scale transport craft. Oh, I've never seen this contract before. Hello there. Emma gives Nanami a quick nod before opening her terminal to request authorization for a large transport. She used to be quite the lady, you know. For some reason, she was dead set on becoming a construct. She's been stationed at the training camp these past few years. The camp's practically empty now. All cadets were forced to graduate early, and even the instructors were sent back to the front lines. And those kids from FOS are literally still kids. She watches worriedly as another wounded person is carried past her. Thank goodness we're in this together now. I mean, who knows how many of these kids would have survived otherwise. Any news about the others? You mean, what about Kalung or Watanabe? Nanami hasn't been able to reach them since the mutated red tide began to spread. Falkai has notified the Kalung Chamber of Commerce, but only a small number of people in Kalung are willing to evacuate to Babylonia. After the transport left with the evacuees, Kalung's leader immediately reactivated their punishing virus shield. We haven't been able to learn anything from in there since. As for the Forsaken, they lost quite a few people. Watanabe's deputy sent us their final coordinates, and I went to extract the survivors. Hurry, hop on the transport craft! The mutated red tide will reach this camp in 3 hours. Through the dust kicked up by the transport craft, dozens of exhausted humans and constructs stand waiting. Why are there so few left? Weren't there supposed to be hundreds? The mutated red tide swept away the other two vehicles. Watanabe went after them with his team, but we don't know if they... Damn it! Get on Transport 1 and prepare for takeoff. I'll wait here. It's too risky, Bridget. We don't have any time. Get going already. At her insistence, Transport 1 slowly lifts off, leaving Bridget alone in Transport 2's cockpit, waiting anxiously. The concentration of the punishing virus in the air is gradually rising. The mutated red tide will reach this camp in an hour. Clouds of dust roll in from the horizon as a vehicle stained with mud from the red tide lurches desperately this way. Bridget fires up the transport engines and throttles the massive vessel forward like a street racer. Quick, get in! The vehicle door clangs open, revealing the driver to be a teenager, no more than 15 years old. Where's Watanabe? Boss is still on the red tide. He's the one who forced our vehicle through and got us out of there. We have 28 people here, 10 wounded and 18 children. He seems so calm that he does not seem like someone who just escaped the red tide at all. I was just hoping Babylonia could take in these last survivors of Oasis. They are not the Forsaken, but residents of Oasis. They shall not be forgotten once again. After helping Bridget evacuate all the residents from Oasis onto the transport craft, the child finally collapses from exhaustion. As the transport craft takes off, the mutated red tide surges forward like a monstrous tsunami, engulfing the last camp in Oasis. I guess there's nothing we can do but keep our fingers crossed and hope Watanabe will just come crawling out of the red tide. Bridget forces out a laugh, but her eyes remain devoid of any mirth. None of this is good news. Nanami really doesn't want to hear news like this. Well, I bet none of us does. Bridget, the large transport craft has cleared for deployment, and will arrive shortly. Okay, prepare to evacuate the injured. Thanks for your help once again, Nanami. I've heard a lot about you from command, and while I never thought we'd get to know each other under this circumstance, I guess I do enjoy working with you. She waves casually before joining Emma to help evacuate the wounded. And so begins the first collaboration between Babylonia and the Church of Machina, born from these dire circumstances. Beyond the ruins. Let me get some lubrication of my throat. Some mizu or aqua. Water, as they say. Does this world still point towards the futures she once envisioned? Let's play the story. However, Nanami does not join this rescue operation. She walks Hikma through the 100 guidelines for human protection and entrusts her with full authority over the rescue operation. Hikma, I'm leaving everything here to you and Spooner. If you need anything, just ask Xavier. And if he doesn't cooperate, Nanami will give him a good walloping when I'm back. Are you really going alone? I can go with you. But they need you more here, Hikma. You're the only one in the Church of Machina who knows how to interact with humans properly. Don't worry, I'll be extra careful this time. All I need to do is find a facility with enough computing power to contact Mecha Babushka. Must you do this? Yeah, Nami is a little scared. Is this really the future I saw in my simulations? All signs point to something similar from before, yet somehow everything feels completely different. Babylonia leaving Earth, that matches up. Some humans staying on Earth, that's probably a match too. The red tide spreading, the heterozones expanding, that kinda matches up too. Nanami furrows her brows as she checks off the items one by one. Babylonia is about to leave, and once it travels beyond a certain distance, I won't be able to contact Mecha Babushka. Be by running another simulation or asking Mecha Babushka directly, Nanami needs to know one answer. Does this world still point toward the futures she once envisioned? Hikman does not stop Nanami. She has no reason to prevent this young girl, who people know as Sage Machina, from venturing alone to fight for Earth's last glimmer of hope. Excuse me. Lost my breath on that one. Let me try that again. Hikma does not stop Nanami. She has no reason to prevent this young girl, who people know as Sage Machina, from venturing alone to fight for Earth's last glimmer of hope. Nailed it. As the mutated red tide gradually devours the Earth's surface, the air temperature drops drastically. Without anyone noticing, a minor ice age has begun. I could definitely get in here before. Standing next to the ruins, Nanami connects the wires together with a troubled look on her face. The mutated red tide has clearly infected the facility before her. No matter how she connects the powers or rewires the circuits, this massive computer refuses to boot up again. This is the 4th location already. Upset, Nanami marks another X on the map and stares at it with growing concern. The mutated red tide has overwhelmed almost all facilities she previously found capable of connecting to Gestalt. That city ahead is the last shot. Putting away the map projected from her terminal, Nanami brushes the snow off her clothes and trudges onward toward through the ruins ahead. At the entrance of the ruined city stands an unexpected visitor. The pink-haired construct standing by the ruins greets Nanami with a familiar smile. Hello. We meet again. Nanami remembers you. I've seen you in Babylonia. Why are you still here when Babylonia is about to leave? To assist Babylonia with their search and rescue operations, of course. She adjusts her cloak and turns her gaze towards the ruins ahead. Nanami doesn't care why you're here, as long as you don't try to stop me. I have no intention of stopping you. I'm just curious. Are you sure this is what you want to do? Are you sure you want to leave Earth? Do I have a choice? No, unfortunately. Not at the moment, at least. Then Nanami has no choice but to do this. Okay, time passes. Ooh, this scene. Time is almost up. Ethereal numbers count down as they dance around her, gravity intensifying with each passing moment. The hands of time inch ever closer to their final destination. I don't know what happens when the gravity reaches its peak, and it's too big a gamble to trying to find out. Everyone seems to be asking Nanami how to fix all of this. But Nanami's not just facing the question of what to do. I mean, I don't even know what needs to be fixed at all. If only blowing up the Header Tower would solve everything. Wouldn't that be nice? With a smile on her face, the pink-haired construct lets Nanami continue her self-directed complaints. Excuse me. I don't even know what needs to be fixed, let alone finding a way out of this mess. I'm the Sage Machina, and while I never asked for this title, I have to lead them through this nonetheless. I can't just gamble the mechanoid's future just so I can stay on Earth, but as a friend to humans, as a friend to Commandant. Nanami can't just stand by and watch humanity vanish like this. I care about humans. I care about Commandant. I'd have no trouble staying on Earth if I were alone, even if that meant certain death to me. I'd do anything to help humans and Commandant. But I can't make decisions for my mechanical brethren. Is that the wrong decision to make? It's not my place to define what's right or wrong. In fact, No one can give you the answer to this question. Are you beginning to doubt yourself? Nanami turns to face Ishmael. No, Nanami's just trying to think things through. Her thoughts drift to a distant future. Can the world as it is now truly lead to that future? The mechanoid's path lies in space, sailing towards the endless universe, but humanity's path, is it truly on Earth? Ah, are you asking for my opinion? Sensing Nanami's gaze on her, Ishmael lowers her eyes. I know you don't talk much, but I really want to hear what you think. No future can ever stop tomorrow from coming. No matter how great our fears are, the sun will rise every day. Two well-worn, smooth dice appear in Ishmael's palm. My thoughts exactly. That's why I'm standing right here. You would leave Earth with the mechanoids. If that means humanity would have a chance at surviving the catastrophe. Well, if that means humanity would have a chance at surviving the catastrophe. If you've already made up your mind, why are you asking me if you made the wrong decision? Ishmael suddenly seems curious. You just seem so wise and all, so I thought maybe I could get some sage advice out of you. Nanami walks forward as she hums. Then, what if I were to give you a negative answer? Nanami will hold off on your answer for now and make a judgment with Commandant when we meet. But that's just blind faith, no? How can you call it blind faith? Ah, you're making me angry here. I am totally capable of making sound judgments. If Nanami makes a wrong judgment, Commandant will help Nanami. And if Commandant needs help, of course Nanami will help Commandant too. Nanami and Commandant trust each other. I'm sure things are going to be just fine if Commandant and I work together. Well, you have my apologies. Ishmael lets out a wry chuckle. Do you have anything else to say? If not, I'll be on my way then. As for parting words, let this be my way of making amends for my thoughtless remarks earlier. 20-sided die spins among Ishmael's finger and lands on a different number each time it comes to rest. Perhaps this isn't a dead end after all. The world may be in slumber now, but perhaps one day it will awaken. We can't predict when the singularity will arrive, but I have a feeling they will find a way to change everything. Yep, my thoughts exactly. Humans are always creating miracles, and so is Commandant. Commandant will definitely make it out of the Hetero Tower, but is what Nanami's doing now going to cause trouble for humans and Commandant? She is a failed time corrector. She once naively believed she could escape her predetermined future, but despite traversing countless simulated universes, she could never find the right thread to follow in the vast river of time. Even if she knew all the possibilities, even if she tried to make the best choices, she never managed to change how things ended. How can one be certain that this is the one and only correct universe? To this question, I believe, no one can provide an answer. I knew you'd say that. It's exactly because no one can give an answer that I decided to visit words. I knew you'd say that. It's exactly because no one can give an answer that I decided to visit Babushka again. But what if just Schultz can't provide an answer either? That's not something I need to worry about now. I'll sort that out later somewhere down the road. Anami's response leaves Ishmael momentarily at a loss for words. She shakes her head with a smile and turns her gaze toward the ruins in the distance. I know things are not exactly looking hopeful, but I'll try my best to save humanity however I can. No matter what the cost, I'll help Command and put everything back on the right track. Having seeped through the ruins, the mutated red tide creeps up nearby buildings and spreads into every corner within its reach. We'll get there somehow, right? You don't need my answer. Of course, Nanami has already made up her mind. This mechanoid girl with a soul loves humanity and Earth so deeply. Nanami was born from humanity's love, and Nanami will give that love back to humanity. She repeats these words, seemingly trying to solidify her conviction. No matter what the cost, I'll help Commandant put everything back on the right track. On the right track? Huh. Perhaps the variable you're hoping for is already taking... Damn, Cheetos. Perhaps the variable you're hoping for is already taking notice of your wish. Right, Commandant? Who are you talking to? Oh, nothing. Drawing their gaze back from the distance, Ishmael and Nanami walk side by side through streets among the ruins. So, what's your plan? I'll visit Mecha Babushka first, then take everyone to Aerospace City to figure out how to continue building the starship. I'll stay on Earth though, if anything happens. If Commandant manages to break free, I'm sure we'll find a way to solve everything here. No one's got anything on Commandant, but Commandant is pushing themselves too hard. I'd have rushed into the Headroad Tower to rescue Commandant and Lucia, but... That's not gonna be easy, though. Yeah, my frame is falling apart, but I haven't found anything. I'm sure you've seen much more since you can see the Graven Commandant as a focal point. True, I've seen it. No matter how the river of time shifts, only Commandant stands unwavering within its flow. Commandant is this world's anchor point, its beginning and its ending. So, that's what you saw. I suppose you are gifted indeed. Perhaps this isn't a dead end after all. The 20-sided die begins to roll once more as Ishmael watches it with intense focus. But no one knows what that single thread leading to destiny truly lies. Is what I'm doing now and what I plan to do still not enough? Far from enough. Everything that lots of you are trying to do is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Does that needle even exist? Sorry, I cannot say for certain. Perhaps you'll have become the future version of yourself somewhere far down the road. I'll be there for you, should you ever need me again then. The street comes to an end, and there, on the other side of the ruined city, Nanami finally sees what she has been searching for. A research facility with massive computing power. Turning around, she finds that the pink-haired construct has already vanished. Alright, we're charting straight ahead. Let's go, Nanami. Spider silk. Next. Transparent spider silk floats in the ocean, disappearing as soon as you look away. Play. With Nanami's final touch, power flows through the facility, bringing its systems back to life. Nanami lets out a long breath, hesitates for a moment, then speaks tentatively. Hi there, Mecha Babushka. You've come. The one named Nanami, I have calculated the probability of your return. Having gone through all that she has, Nanami now feels at ease hearing this familiar voice. Since you already knew that I'd come, Mecha Babushka, can you give me the answers I've been looking for? Incorrect assumption. I merely calculated, based on previous data, that there was a high probability you would return here to connect with me. Your specific purpose remains unknown. Have you decided to lead the mechanoids down the path of awakened machines? Nope. I'm sure you know what's going on out there, Mecha Babushka. I came with more data and variables. Let's start a new simulation. Nanami wants to see how these data points and variables will reshape this world. I'm sorry, Nanami. Jess Schultz is dedicating all resources to Babylonia's project departure. The remaining computing power is insufficient to initiate another real-time simulation. Oh, no. Excessive simulations hold no value in problem solving. When a problem has infinite solutions, it effectively has none at all. How am I supposed to figure out the answers to my questions then? The awakened machines are the answers to Earth's catastrophe. Humans only have a 0.072% chance to survive the punishing disaster. Awakened machines are the only answer to punishing. There's no time left, Nanami. That's not true, Mecha Babushka. I remember that time clearly, that time when you first asked me to come here. Humans only have a 0.031% chance to survive the punishing disaster. Awakened machines are the only answer to punishing. The decimal points are changing. A whole 0.041% higher. Silence fills the space for a moment. We are both mechanical consciousnesses. You know the probability of these numbers. To give you your answer, I will allocate spare computing power to run a simple simulation for you. These numbers will show you exactly what will become of human civilization. I didn't know we could do that. That's amazing. After a brief notification ping, a virtual screen materializes before Nanami. Please input your known variables. Mutated red tide, chaos, and mechanoids staying on Earth. 5,475 days later, Babylonia initiates Project Departure with mechanoids remaining within Aerospace City. 11,680 days later, humans and mechanoids wage war over limited resources. 12,775 days later, chaos disappears. The mutated red tide assaults human settlements as a frost wave descends. 13,870 days later, a new red tide consciousness emerges, and the last human falls to the red tide. 14,601 days later, the mutated red tide engulfs Earth completely. Damn it, this can't be possible. Alright, let's try another one. Let's go with the status quo. Mechanoids embark on a space journey while humans remain on Earth. Starting simulation. 8,760 days later, mechanoids complete their starship construction and depart from Earth. 12,775 days later, chaos disappears and the mutated red tide launches its counterattack. 13,502 days later, the ground falls into another winter as a frost wave overwhelms multiple human settlements. 14,608 days later, the mutated red tide engulfs Earth completely. Snow and the crimson-white pattern of red tide blanket the planet's surface. This can't be right. Just Schultz's calculations are never wrong. Let's give it another try, Mecha Babushka. Let's go with the status quo. Humans and mechanoids leave Earth together. Starting simulation. 5,475 days later, Babylonia initiates Project Departure. 8,760 days later, mechanoids complete their starship construction and depart from Earth. 12,769 days later, unverifiable. X days later, Babylonia encounters mechanoids in space. The punishing. Mecha Babusha, what's going on? Encrypted codes spread across Jesschult's deduction data. Time span too extensive, unable to provide detailed calculation process. The punishing virus will inevitably catch up to humanity's spacecraft. When Blank came to this place and opened the unknown technological black box, the fate of When Blank came to this place and opened the unknown technological black box, the fate of human civilization was already sealed. Dominic, probably. This is the only possible outcome my calculations can derive. Then, let's try another variable. What if we factor in the ascendants? 7,289 days later, the mutated red tide consumes the ascendants. 13,476 days later, the surface falls into Everwinter as a frost wave overwhelms multiple human settlements. 14,608 days later, the mutated red tide engulfs Earth completely. No, not this one. Let's try another one. 13,486 days later, the ground falls into Neverwinter frost and overwhelms multiple settlements. 14,000 days later, the mutated red tide engulfs Earth completely. There's still no margin of error. Let's try this one instead. 14,658 days later, the mutated red tide engulfs Earth completely. After countless simulation attempts, Nanami sits on the ground, completely exhausted. Then what if we add the scenario where Commandant leaves the tower? Invalid hypothesis. What? Among the 262... How many numbers is that? Thousands, millions, billions, trillions, decaquadrillions, I guess? I don't know. Among the 262 decaquadrillion, 537 trillion, 412 million, 640 billion... Wait, no. Billions is before millions. Let me try that again. Among the 262 decaquadrillion, 537 trillion, 412 billion, 640 million, 768,743 worlds simulated by Gestalt, not a single one begins with this hypothesis. But what if Commandant really does come out? Silence fills the virtual space once more. Invalid hypothesis. But that girl in red tag clearly said Commandant had already left. Kane left the Hedera Tower. Unable to calculate the exact time of Kane's departure from the Hedera Tower. Therefore, the hypothesis is invalid, unable to begin simulation. So there are things beyond your calculation, Mecha Babushka. Be it mechanoids or humans, there must be things that we can't see. But no matter how many simulations are run, humanity's fate is sealed. Human civilization will ultimately perish in an Everwinter. I see what it is now. It's not that such a possibility doesn't exist, it's that the possibility exists beyond your calculation, Mecha Babushka. That's one way to see it, but the optimal solution remains the same. You're eluding the awakened machines to preserve Earth's civilization. Nanami doesn't want that at all. Be it mechanoids or humans, there must be some things we can't see. We're all civilizations born from Earth. Of course we should stand together, united as one, to overcome this catastrophe. The awakened machines originate from humans. No one can say for sure that the mechanoids will be spared if the punishing virus catches up to humanity's ships. The mechanoid called Nanami, your level of awakening has exceeded my computational parameters. I am unable to compute the possibility you speak of. Perhaps in the future, when you possess greater computing power, you will be able to simulate a world with such possibilities. Time is running short now. My computing power is limited, and I must devote all resources to Project Departure. I can no longer assist you with these simulations. Make your own choice, Nanami. And thus the call was ended. Gestalt severs the connection. Which means there's still hope. Nanami narrows her eyes to review every piece of information. Information from Chaos, from Ishmael, from Gestalt. Kane must have left the Hedera Tower, but no one knows at which point in time they emerge. Gestalt cannot calculate when exactly Kane left the Hedera Tower. yet I never outright said Commandant didn't make it out. And there is this thing that Ishmael said. Perhaps the variable you're hoping for is already taking notice of your wish. But no one knows where that single thread leading to destiny truly lies. The singularity might indeed exist. The probability of human civilization survival has gone from 0.031% to 0.072%. Such a minuscule probability feels too fragile to be real, too slight for her to believe it could actually exist. Transparent spider silk floats in the ocean, disappearing as soon as you look away. She might truly grasp this thread of fate, but likewise, no one knows what lies at its end. And now, on the brink of her predetermined future and forced to flee into deep space, a girl soon to be exiled from Earth, what can she still do for Earth, for humanity, and for the Commandant in these moments? Ugh. Nami. Huh? Who's that? Did someone just say something? That sounds like Commandant. Both the terminal and life radar remain silent. If Commandant had sent a message, at least one of them would have triggered the notification sound I'd set for them. Well, thinking in her mind. Words. Well, I guess I'm just hearing things. She scratches her ear, looking somewhat embarrassed. Guess I should really start thinking about what to do next. If Commandant comes when I'm gone, what should I leave behind for Commandant? Human food, that's definitely essential, though it might be hard to preserve, and serum, yes. Equipment, repair supplies, I need to stock up on all of these. Also, the girl stands in the snow as she stares into the unreachable distance. I wonder if I can leave a piece of myself for Commandant. Following Gestult's guidance, I will become Nanami of... words. Character, rather. Let me get back into it. Following Gestult's guidance, I will become the Nanami of the future and the sage of mechanical civilization and lead them toward potential new dimensions of existence. I will integrate myself as the Starship's core, become the Gestalt of mechanical civilization, and guide them to discover the meaning of their awakening. But please forgive me for having this small moment of selfishness. And yeah, core Nanami. Bigger, so cute, so adorable. When I became the one and only sage of the mechanical race, please allow me to leave Nanami behind for humanity and Commandant. And thus her determined conviction rings forth. The river of time. A familiar yet strange voice reaches the girl's ears, carried across endless time and space. The starship departs from humanity's last outpost. When Nanami returns to the Church of Machina, everything proceeds according to plan. The Church of Machina helps Babylonia rescue considerable number of humans and constructs. Soon after, the nightmare returns. Wave after wave of winged hetero creatures begin attacking Babylonia's transports. After losing several groups of pilots, Babylonia evacuates the last survivors from the Church of Machina. Babylonia leaves Earth's orbit and ventures into the invisible depths of space. But some constructs and humans still choose to stay behind. I'm not leaving. Vanessa, now a construct, stands before the abandoned stronghold with an emotionless with an emotionless gaze. Not for some petty drama of love and hate, nor some stupid faith. I'm staying here because I want to, and I don't need to give you a reason. At least on Earth, I'll know exactly how I'm gonna die. You're not coming with us to Aerospace City either, are you? Of course. I'm planning to search for survivors beyond the last line of defense in the conservation area. together with the remaining scarabs. She tugs uncomfortably at the ID card bearing the scarab insignia on her chest, her eyes downcast. There might still be survivors out there, and I'll gather them together. We'll survive this together. Her voice is barely above a whisper, the final syllables fading into the air. Without trying to change their minds, an army escorts Vanessa and the other contracts to their designated locations. Best of luck to all of you. Stay safe. The starship sets sail for Aerospace City. With the help of Han Ying, who came from Kowloon to join them, the Church of Machina and Aerospace City reached an agreement. In exchange for evacuating Aerospace City's residents, the space colony will provide the Church of Machina with sufficient materials and fuel to reactivate the Bifrost and launch the starship into deep space. Some mechanoids still wish to remain on Earth, and Cervantes is among them. Are you sure you don't want to leave with us, Cervantes? Never sure, Sage. Drifting through deep space in search of an unknown haven, that's not the answer I'm looking for. I'm staying to finish my thesis. Nanami doesn't like this feeling. As Babylonia begins its journey, everything familiar to her seems to slip away one by one, and her friends choose to stay where they are one after another. Only Nanami is responsible for guiding the awakened machines, which are compelled to press forward endlessly in search of another unknown ending. Sage, sorry. Don't apologize, I'm just a little upset. Mendasti is staying too, so it's actually good that you're staying here. And I do have a special mission for you. I hope this can become another opportunity. When the tower appears again, perhaps that will be when the change must happen. Through purification and destruction, new possibilities will arise from this barren earth. If you meet Commandant, make sure to give Commandant while I left here, okay? Sage, why are you? I have to leave this place, and so do the mechanoids. Had the Church of Machina continued to stay on Earth, war with humanity would have been inevitable, followed by other catastrophes. Nanami's gaze pierces through the thick clouds above the aerospace city, and she looks toward the distant, unreachable stars. I will safeguard what you've entrusted to me, but will the Grey Raven Commandant truly appear again? To be honest, Nanami doesn't know either. Both Mecha Babushka and Ishmael said Commandant couldn't possibly have made it out of the Hero Tower. And I've never seen Commandant in any of the simulations I've run. But what makes humans truly human is their endless potential. What humans are capable of is beyond even Just Schultz's calculation. Which is why I'm not buying those simulations. Nanami believes in Commandant. And I believe in you too, Nanami. Huh? Cervantes, do you hear that? A familiar yet strange voice reaches the girl's ears, carried across endless time and space. I'm not picking up anything though. It's probably my reception module. I really need to get it fixed. She mutters to herself while making a to-do list before departure. Extra serum, equipment repair supplies, food. Oh right, and a full-century simulation device. The starship is taking off. Huh. Perched by the porthole, she quietly lifts a heat shield to peek at Earth, which is becoming more distant by the second. Will we never be able to return? I mean, to Earth? The red tide hasn't yet consumed Earth. The planet still brims with life, as blue and green hues interweave along its edges to paint a beautiful pattern. Maybe someday, somewhere far down the road, we'll have a chance to return. The tides of time sweep everything away as seas turn into land and cliffs into abysses. But love grants this world endless possibilities. She accepts fate but that doesn't mean she won't fight back. In the header tower, a red butterfly flutters its wings. The starship, its hull having been spray painted DeLorean Discovery by Nanami, departs from Earth's orbit. Farewell, Earth. This is DeLorean Discovery. Well, this is DeLorean Discovery. We are sailing in space at the third cosmic speed. Over an immeasurable span of time, the Nami gradually integrates herself into the starship's core and becomes one with its systems. You cannot forcibly split your consciousness for variable stack operations. The risk is far too great, Sage. Such calculations cannot be halted at will. If you suffer any damage during the process, it could severely impact your cognitive algorithms. Besides, with the increasing number of variables, no one can say for sure you'll be able to find an anchor point for return every time. Arcana, who is usually composed and calm, displays an uncharacteristic hint of anxiety. Don't worry, I've got everything prepared down to the last detail. And don't try getting Hikma to talk me out of this. I've already won her over to my side. Hikma? A hint of disbelief seeps through Arcana's mechanical voice. I cannot stop Sage. Her mind is already made up. It's too dangerous. Don't worry, the starship will be fine. No matter what happens, my frame will keep it going until we find a new homeland. That's not what I'm worried about. I've been waiting all this time, Arcana. Sitting by the portal, the Nami gazes into the unknown expanse of stars beyond. Scattered pinpoints of light dot the vast darkness. They're now well beyond the Milky Way. No one knows their exact position on the stellar map anymore. They chart their course as they travel to map the unknown. I tried to deal with the red tide on Earth, but failed. I also tried to enter the Hydro Tower, but they have been completely sealed off. I had no other choice. I couldn't abandon the mechanoid, so I accepted my destiny and brought Discovery here. I never wanted to leave Earth, but I had no choice. But Discovery needs you. Arcana, Discovery doesn't need a Sage Machina anymore. In the starship's main hull, humans and mechanoids bustle back and forth as they work together to keep the vessel running. As time passes, the humans and mechanoids who chose to stay aboard Discovery live together in harmony, which has naturally formed a new, stable social structure within the starship. Perhaps, in time, this will bloom into a new civilization. Besides, you know exactly what I'm worried about. The punishing virus harvests information of civilization. What? It was just a theory before, but only recently have I started to piece things together. Punishing virus, fusion, header tower going haywire. Recycle, information, civilization. As I gradually connect with the Grey Tower, I began to see more. Mechanoids were born from human civilization too. We might be able to run from Earth, but we can't keep running away forever. Are we really doing the right thing, running away from Earth? Mechanoids were born from human civilization, and like humans, they too are vulnerable to the red tide. As she became the starship's Gestalt, she saw countless memories from the past of the mechanoids. She saw a cradle born from the red tide and humans trudge through the mire of force. She saw new eggs hatching in the depths of the ocean and a horrifying sun rising from behind the black walls. The flood of information all but overwhelmed her memory module. But she also what remained, traces delicate as spider silk. If Nanami doesn't do anything now, who else is going to save these fascinating humans? Even if Nanami fails, the starship will keep moving forward. Nanami is well prepared. Let's just call this Nanami's little moment of selfishness. This time, I'm not just going to stand by and watch Commandant fight alone. Nanami. Huh? Did I just hear Commandant talking again? Sage? Arcana adjusts her receiver in confusion, but apart from Nanami, she detects no other living beings making any sound. Guess I'm hearing things again. Everything is ready, Arcana. I'm not asking for your opinion. I'm telling you how it's going to be. You and Hygma have always managed the starship well. If I lose my anchor point and get lost, then pretend I decided to stay on Earth. She has no reason to stop Nanami, be it for the sake of the mechanoids or anything else. In the peaceful moments that would be considered dawn by Earth's calendar, Nanami initiates her deep space simulation. As a droplet of water falls, she enters the stream of time. The sparse starlight fails to fill the vast universe as she floats at its center and reaches out to touch the shattered vortexes before her. In her endless calculations, Nami attempts to reach out once more to touch the impossible dimensional boundary. If she could send a message to Commandant in the past to tell Commandant not to enter the Header Tower, could all of this be changed? She weaves through different rifts in time, desperately trying to grasp at various shards, only to find herself lost in the end. Nanami drifts along the river of time, yet she cannot find the anchor point that would guide her home. No. She frantically searches for a new path among the stars. Her consciousness wears thin from excessive time regression as her strength gradually crumbles away. No matter how many times she tries, all she sees is an ocean of stellar shards stretching endlessly before her, with no way to find her path home. What should I do? She lets out a soft sigh, her thoughts tinged with sadness. Stellar vortexes spin as time and space interweave into intricate, elusive patterns, flowing like rivers that stretch endlessly into the beyond. The girl reaches out again, trying to fish out the right thread from the rivers. What should I do now? Just like when she pondered her choices on Earth, she now finds herself with no new paths left to take. Commandant, will I see you again? Nanami, no. Oh, grand entrance. Oh, this is not on the little list. Oh, 317. I don't think there's anything special. It's just 23 that has something special. Okay, grand entrance. Perhaps she's been deceived by illusions many times before, but no matter how often, she still rushes toward the Commandant without hesitation. A heavy, transparent veil hangs before her. Throw a punch at the barrier. The transparent barrier remains completely unscathed. It's been so long that I thought Commandant did forget about me or something. I just want to stay here on Earth and live together with Commandant and all these people. Nanami gets along great with Commandant. Commandant never gets angry at Nanami. Everything is gonna be fine. Nanami, I'm right here. The transparent barrier begins to waver. Nanami will lead the Mechanoid Brethren through this catastrophe, and Nanami won't give up on saving Commandant or finding a new singularity. Something must have happened to Commandant, but Nanami doesn't know how to help Commandant. Strike the barrier with all your might. Thin cracks begin to appear on the transparent barrier. Commandant, wait for Nanami. Nanami is coming for you. Punch. You slam your fist against the unyielding transparent barrier. The cracks in the transparent barrier grow wider. Commandant. Humans are always creating miracles, and so is Commandant. Nanami will find you, Commandant. Nanami. 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 Wait for me, Commandant. I will definitely find you. As Nanami calls out from the other side, the cracks in the transparent barrier grow even wider. Strike the cracked transparent barrier with all your might. Crack. Nanami. Nanami, 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 Nanami. Commandant, am I hearing things again? Nanami. Smashing the barrier. Commandant. Having been forgotten in the river of time, Nanami struggles to open her weary eyes and grasp those hands that reach out to her through time and space. Perhaps she's been deceived by illusions many times before, but no matter how often, she still rushes toward the Commandant without hesitation. Hug? Hug? No? This time, however, it's not some deception. Commandant! 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 Nanami bounces up and down with excitement, her arms tightening around your waist and back, each call of your name carrying countless emotions. Commandant, you won again. I thought I'd be the one to find you. How did you find me? Was it because of the secret weapon I left behind? 30-odd years have passed, but Nanami is still every bit as lively as a bird, chirping away with endless questions. Briefly explain to Nanami how we got here. That's a long journey. Bet you're super tired, Commandant. But don't worry, Nanami is here now. But, I swear I told Cervantes that my new frame is a complete... I swear I told Cervantes to keep my new frame a complete secret. I was totally looking forward to showing it to you when we meet again. Well, I guess you're looking right at it now. After a brief chat, the two of you catch up on each other's current situations. What are your plans now, Commandant? How did you end up trapped here, Nanami? You've practically relived Nanami's journey with her, but this crucial detail still eluded you. I've been thinking about it, you know. Maybe it's because there wasn't an anchor point. I was able to travel back to reality in the past using Microbabushka as both a medium and anchor point, but now... As Gestalt voyages with Babylonia, Nanami, now a new kind of Gestalt, possesses sufficient computing power, but has lost the anchor point needed to tether herself to the timeline from which she came. If I'm going to be stuck here, at least I've got you with me, Commandant. This isn't too bad at all. No, that's not good either. Nanami's consciousness can decay over time since it's mechanical, but your consciousness, Commandant, is that of a human's. Ugh! We still need to find a way out of here, but what else can we do? I've already searched through a lot of time shards. Can I be your anchor point? You want to be my anchor point? After a brief moment of contemplation, Nanami's face lights up with sudden joy. Nanami thinks this could work. Commandant's mind is super powerful, not to mention all the bonds you have. Could this be the singularity we've been waiting for? As the sudden inspiration hits her like lightning, Nanami quickly pulls up a large display screen. What are these? Nanami made these tools that will allow us to run simulations right here. Nanami named it the Big Eater because simulating it alone ate up so much of Nanami's computing power. Let Nanami set the parameters. Let me set you up as a new starting point for the simulation as you are. The timelines are a tangled web of possibilities with Commandant has made it out of the Hedor Tower being the sole variable. Only by grasping both this variable and the singularity can we hope to reach the boundary. Only by grasping both this variable and its singularity can we hope to reach the boundary of dimensional ascension. Preset conditions confirmed. Logical simulation established. Let's go, Commandant. Nanami reaches out to you. But is all of this a simulation, or is it actually happening? The threads of fate interweave between Nanami and you. No one knows anymore what kind of world you have become entangled in. And so, let's start the counter attack.
指挥官，不要害怕哦，七十在呢。这一次是七十和指挥官的大冒险。雪地是北极联合航线。
Imperia.
这个时间点是安伯利亚。这一次也没有谈判的机会吗？就让骑士好好和你告别吧。没有见过面的安伯利亚小姐，
Yep.
怕迷食病毒，可真不是个好东西。
One big troublemaker indeed. Hit. That's done and dusted.
话语变成祈愿，祈愿又会进化为前进的力量，会没事的。
Gonna be
Amberia
okay,
小姐。
Amberia. And on to the next spot.
灰塔的核心
Okay.
是其实不喜欢的
Great
那个世
Tower
界。
Core. Ow. How dare you? No hurting my Nanami allowed. Okay, so next portal.
下一次对演，这一次会有不一样的结局吗？
Okay, twins.
よーく見ててね。百勝楽勝。アルティメットスペクタクル！呀！校准时空坐标，条件预设成立。
Boom, should be right there.
如果没有意外的话，应
Next scene. Nanami! Hi! Cute.
指挥官，你看，那个就是我之前跟你提到过的小
Yep,
鸡。
Snipey. Hey, we actually get to see Snipey now. Hello? As Sniper PK-43's power reboots, his vision is filled with an unfamiliar yet somehow familiar face. The armored girl quickly brushes away the snow that's accumulated on his frame. Hi! Commandant, remember Snipey? I am a fully automated sniping platform, model Sniper PK-43. My name isn't Snipey, though. This conversation feels strangely familiar. You got it, Snipey! You're not listening at all, but strange how these words feel familiar, too. Another scan of the local database yields no records of this grey-haired girl. You show no signs of infection. May I inquire? Before Snipey can finish his preset dialogue line, his visual module swivels sharply, having detected another life signal. A human? It's been a long time since a human last appeared here. Who are you? The automated sniping platform before you blinked with puzzled red lights. Its optical cameras whir rapidly as they rotate, accompanied by a soft electrical buzzing. I am the Grey Raven Commandant. The Grey Raven Commandant? The title rings familiar, but having been offline this entire time, Snipey fails to retrieve any relevant data. Oh well, you're forgiven, Snipey. Come on, let's get ready to go now. Snipey remains silent, yet involuntarily activates the heating unit beneath its base, as if having performed this action countless times before. Patting the Snipey's frame impatiently, Nanami raises a weapon with excitement. Alright, off we go, Commandant Snipey. Silver waterfowl circle in the winter sky, their gentle calls scattering seeds of hope below. Okay, now I got some more scenes with Snipey potentially towards a farther star. Next, I give you the welcome ceremony of the loving community. Right up ahead. As you trudge through the deep snow, a massive white stone building emerges dimly beyond the tree line. Bet they'll be super happy. They? Hee, you'll see who they are when we get there. So, what exactly are you two trying to do here? Snipey, who has been quiet the entire way, suddenly speaks up. Good question. Beats me. This conversation feels awfully familiar too. We'll figure it out as we go. Nanami can feel power surging through her whole body. Is it the power from the past that you recycled from those worlds just now? That might be it. This is the first time I've run into something like this throughout my long journey through all these different timelines. Are the simulated worlds converging? That should be it. I can feel that the Big Eater is consuming less computing power to run simulations now. The amount of derived data is decreasing as the world lines converge, which means there's less information to process. Snow blankets one side of the forest as small creatures peek out from the undergrowth. Commandant, look! There's a squirrel over there. Having gone so long without seeing humans that it probably doesn't even know what they are, the squirrel tilts its head as it approaches and carefully observes this peculiar group of beings from nearby. Reach out to touch it. The squirrel is startled, but doesn't scurry away. The soft fur beneath your fingertips feels too real to be a creation of some simulated world. When you connected with Nanami's memory module, your consciousness became completely disconnected from Horseshoe. Is this place really just a simulated world? Hearing your question, Nanami shakes her head. Nanami doesn't know either. I only wanted to explore options to save you, Commandant, and humanity when I first began all these simulations. But things stopped making sense to me anymore when I got swept into the temporal whirlpool. Theoretically speaking, this is a place I came up with, but it's more than just that. This is the gift of the future. Hi there, you can just call me Nanami. Nanami? Why am I? We're aboard the DeLorean Discovery, sailing through the vast ocean of stars. Do you remember the header armor shard from Bianca's Phantom Tracer? A key, a new key to activate the invitation. It's also a message Sage left behind. Nanami. What's wrong, Commandant? What exactly did you go through? Huh? Nanami turns around to face you and suddenly breaks into a smile. I can't tell you, Commandant. Someone might be listening. Follow me. Just leave it all to me this time. We're almost there. Look. Hold on. Let's make sure they're not corrupted. No. They're Nanami's friends too. She rushes up and waves her hand with a cheerful enthusiasm. Hi, Snowball. Hello. Welcome to the House of Love. How do you know my name? Because I am Master Nanami, Supreme Ruler of Heaven and Earth, the Chosen One. That's quite a long name. I don't think we can accommodate a party of your size. Hey, that's just my title. And this one beside you is a human. Hello? A clumsy robot starts fidgeting nervously. Hello, it is a human, hello! This is the House of Love, a warm neighborhood built for humans. Welcome, you'll be our very first human to stay here. Thank you so much. What happened to all the humans here? I don't know. The humans began to disappear when it suddenly started to snow here one day. It's too cold outside anyway. Please come into our decorated community. She waddles hurriedly to leave all three of you toward the white building behind. Next, I'll give you the welcome ceremony of the House of Love. Inside the relatively warmer building, several robots clumsily line up in a row in an awkward attempt to perform welcome gestures. Ta-da! Welcome to the House of Love. Wow, that was amazing! Amazing! Join the applause. While clapping alongside Nanami, you take in your surroundings. Is this part of Nanami's past experiences? The hall has been decorated to look like a model showroom, with a massive machine in the center radiating gentle warmth. On the back wall, crude graffiti spells out House of Love in faded but colorful letters. Any guess who wrote that there? Oh, you mean those letters in color? I don't quite remember, but I think it was this visitor we had before who came and said they wanted to feel the true depth of a mechanoid's feel the true depth of a mechanoid's feelings. They were sure that we'd have humans visiting here someday. Who was it though? Weird, I don't have that piece of information in my memory module. No point in dwelling on what you can't remember. Besides, you still got a cake to eat. Oh, yeah, that's right. Do give our specialty cake a try. As Snowball hurries off, Nanami quickly makes herself comfortable by sprawling across the whole sofa. You're the visitor that this Snowball was talking about, weren't you, Nanami? Hee. Saying nothing, Nanami breaks into a big smile. It's wonderful, isn't it? At least I helped them fulfill one of their wishes. But where would I be if not here, at this time? Pulling up her terminal, Nanami appears to be calculating something. Oh no, this is bad. We're super close to the Aeronautical Research Lab now. The Aeronautical Research Lab? This is very bad. We're running out of time. Nanami leaps off the hall sofa, frantically grabs you and bolts out the door. Hey, you haven't tried our specialty cake yet. We'll come back for it when we can. See you guys around, Snowball, Snipey. Leaving the bewildered mechanoids behind, Nanami and you dash across the vast, snowy terrain. The sun has risen before you know it. The heavy snowfall seems to have faded behind the two of you, revealing a crystal clear blue sky ahead. Ugh! Careful, Commandant! Having tripped over what you believe must be a rock, you fall hard onto the snowy ground. When the world around you finally stops spinning, you open your snow-covered eyes to find a deep blue sky above. The snow stopped. Didn't even notice that. When you hear the crunch of snow and turn your head, you see Nanami lying next to you. Up close, you notice all the new scars in Nanami's frame. I see you have a lot of new scars in your frame, Nanami. Don't worry, I got them when I was traveling through all the different worlds. Do they physically manifest on your frame? They only affect my consciousness. Nothing can damage Nanami's super awesome frame. Does it hurt? It's fine. Nanami doesn't feel much pain at all. Nanami rolls around in the snow and giggles with glee. I'm super happy now since I'm not traveling alone this time. If only we could keep traveling like this forever, Commandant. Nanami. Mm-hmm. Nanami knows we can't. If you stay here for too long, it'll mess with your consciousness and turn you into a big dummy. A happy journey shouldn't be built on such a dangerous premise. What is the premise of this timeline? The Imperial frame experiment with Lev failed, but humans kept pushing forward anyway. They used up too much energy, and Grandma Earth got angry. Then came a great catastrophe humans called the Frailty. Then came the Eternal Winter. This isn't just a simulation. It's more like what Vonnegut mentioned before, one of the layers within the Header Tower. If I hadn't awakened in time to rouse Liv. But none of that happened. This is just a simulation, Commandant. Humanity's future didn't end here, and neither will our journey, Commandant. Aww. Nanami rolls over and sits up. Let's get going, Commandant. I know exactly where we need to go from here. Our journey is far from over. When everything is over, when all the sad times come to an end, I'll find you again right here on Earth, Commandant. When the time comes, you and I will embark on another journey together, Commandant. We will. The harsh winter will pass, and spring will come. The world will return to how it once was. Commandant. Thank you so much. Nanami draws close to her past self and gently takes both her hands. Commandant and I will take it from here. The flowing timeline is severed and reclaimed as a new dimension opens once more. Streams of time flow together like rivers as they slowly converge into one. The curtain rises and everything that ever was slowly comes to be, only to gradually fade into oblivion. With Commandant's mind as an anchor, Nanami guides Commandant through dimensions that flicker in and out of existence. If, meeting no suppression, the Header Force runs rampant and submerges the entire Earth beneath its depths. The entire squad of Grey Raven vanishes into the red tide during their rescue mission. In that world, Nanami fails to save the Commandant. She stands at the edge of the red tide for what feels like an eternity, watching as it creeps up to the very rocks beneath her feet. In the end, she departed Earth with the Church of Machina. If, after breaching the data wall, Babylonia comes under intense attack from an unknown force. Unable to withstand the onslaught, Babylonia plummets and crashes onto the Earth. Nanami watches as Cradle fuses with an unknown being, which yields a merged being that consumes most of the Earth's surface. Humanity's living space shrinks day by day until the punishing virus finally devours every last bit of it. If Babylonia finally embarks on its journey to the stars when the Grey Raven Commandant enters the Header Tower. After an eternity, the Church of Machina starship chances upon that familiar megastructure drifting through space. Despite sending countless messages with no response, when Nanami finally enters Babylonia, she finds only a ghost ship, its entire structure devoid of all life. Is this everything you've seen, Nanami? This isn't just what Nanami has seen before. These are endings that will be taking place in the future. Nanami silently watches as scenes shift endlessly behind the veil. The future. Don't worry, Commandant. Nanami is here with you. Besides, the truth of this world runs far deeper than this. We must trace back further, far further than this. Only then can we... Signal waves resonate through the distant void of the deep space. If the crimson light of the Header Tower eventually engulfs the entire world, Nanami quickly leads the mechanoids into space, their ship's destination unknown to all. If A crimson ocean engulfed the entire Earth, leaving no survivors among those who fought in the war. With nowhere left to stand on Earth, Nanami had no choice but to leave the solar system. If... Is this everything you've experienced? 262 quadrillion, 537 trillion, 412 billion, 640 million, 768,743 worlds, infinitely approaching wholeness, yet never reaching that final state. I've lived through all of these, but these aren't everything I've lived through. Don't look so sad, Commandant. I won't let this happen. Nami, this is more than just a simulation, isn't it? Shh. She motions for you to look at the stage. Thankfully, there's still time to make everything right. Her voice is soft, and as her finger descends, the black and white scene on the stage freezes frame by frame. It appears to be a funeral, with people gathered together and mourning someone's sacrifice. In the distance, Nanami stands at the edge of the crowd holding a black umbrella, her expression hidden from view. We gather here today to mourn a person whose contributions to Earth will leave a lasting legacy. This great commandant achieved countless victories despite impossible odds, bringing honor to both humanity and Babylonia. Let us observe a moment of silence for this commandant. To Babylonia's great warrior, the Grey Raven Commandant. I was late that time too. But this time, Commandant, I promise I won't be late. Nanami, I just want to give her a hug. Oh, makes me so sad. One of my favorites of the cast too. Cursed wisdom. The Crimson Tower will eventually descend. This peaceful land, this age of gold and vine, will eventually be swallowed by the waves. Through countless strange worlds, Nanami never lets go of your hand. Hold on tight and you'll be safe. Of course. After countless shifts between worlds, just as you're about to follow Nanami to the next area, an abnormal force suddenly grips your spine. Come, man. The world around you starts spinning violently, your heart spasms while the taste of iron creeps up your throat. Beep. Weird mechanical sounds echo inside your skull. Struggle to open your eyes. The world around you seems veiled by a strange filter, blurring everything around you into obscurity. Try to look around. Starting visual module calibration. Error. Mechanical pop sounds from somewhere around your head. Visual module calibration complete. Visual module. With your surroundings gradually coming into focus, you see what appears to be a street you've never seen. Oh, are we going into clear obscure now? Just kidding. The buildings in the background look aged and weathered. This seems nothing like the world you're familiar with. Try to adjust field of vision. People hurry back and forth along the street. This place shows no sign of the punishing virus. It's quite a weird experience. Your movement no longer relies on the signals from the central nervous system, but rather on something more tangible, like electrical currents or something else. Eh? A robot? Was that you just speaking just now? Nanami heard someone talking. Oh, Nanami. Oh, it's young Nanami.
Your visual module scatters and refocuses as you adjust the camera and concentrate on a single spot. A little girl with grey hair, appearing to be about 5 or 6 years old, comes into view.
Nanami?
No matter how you try to speak, all that comes out is harsh white noise.
It's this robot. How does this robot know my name? I'm Kane.
Beep. All that you can still produce is harsh noise, yet somehow
Nanami seems to understand what you're trying to say. Nanami doesn't know you, and I don't understand what you're saying.
Don't you remember me? Did something go wrong in the simulations? How did Nanami forget about you?
Good kids don't lie, and Nanami doesn't remember who you are, but you know Nanami's name, and Mommy and Daddy say that means we must be friends. Wanna go home with Nanami?
With a bright smile, little Nanami extends a small hand toward the robot. This is undoubtedly the best choice for now. The tiny, grey-haired Nanami holds hands with the weathered robot as they slowly walk along a path blooming with flowers. This is a simulated, true golden age. True to its name, gold and fine spirits flow through every street, creating a dazzling spectacle of prosperity.
Did you say this was the golden age?
Yep, but Mommy and Daddy don't really like that name. They keep saying what rises will eventually fall. What does that even mean?
Means that when something becomes too prosperous... words! It means that when something becomes too prosperous, it will eventually decline.
Well, I guess that sort of makes sense. 2 streets later, an elegant house with a garden comes into view before the two of you. Daddy, Mommy, Mimi, Nanami's home.
Nanami, dinner's ready. Why did you bring a transport robot home?
This robot's name is Kane. It knows my name. Daddy said that when you exchange names with someone, you become friends. So Nanami brought her friend home. Kane, this is my dad, and this is my mom, and this is Nanami's puppy, Mimi. He looks excitedly at the mechanoid housing your human soul.
Gotta introduce yourself to them?
Beep. A brief burst of static emerges again. Clearly, this mechanoid's voice module doesn't support this action. Hehe, I'm sure they're all gonna like you.
Alright, we've met your new friend. Time for dinner, Nanami.
Kane, wait here for Nanami. Nanami will be back with Mimi to hang out with you. Says Nanami as she runs into the room.
Weird how this robot knows Nanami's name. Could it be one of the experimental consciousnesses from the laboratory batch? Let me see. No, there's no experimental consciousness within this coding in the database. Could it be that Nanami's developing emotional fluctuations that are typical of human children's fantasies? I would hope so, but it's not possible. MPA-01 just collected Nanami's emotional readings last week. She still only demonstrates emotional perception and expression capabilities that are above average for an AI. Given her original programming as a common-type mechanical consciousness, she might have configured this behavior for herself to fulfill her companion-type objectives. Let's request to have this robot transferred here. You can observe how it interacts with Nanami over time.
Of course. After their brief conversation, the human female and male enter the room together. Soon the sound of cheerful laughter echoes from within.
So, this is Nanami's home.
The house exudes a warm, homey atmosphere. Its deliberately decorated walls and lush garden indicate that this place has been meticulously maintained. The simulation target has deviated, causing your consciousness anchor point to connect to an incorrect timeline. What should you do now?
Try to call out to Nanami?
Huh? Oh, are you calling for me? Wait, I'm gonna finish eating real soon. An unexpected response echoes from within the room. Well, you can't contact the Nanami who is conducting the simulation with you. Surprisingly, little Nanami seems able to hear your actual voice. This misaligned consciousness anchor point seems to have connected to little Nanami's mind. After a joyful afternoon of playing with a new robot friend, Nanami drifts into a deep sleep in the rocking chair. Before you catch your breath in your mechanical shell, you find yourself in Nanami picked up by someone. Now let's take a good look at you. He unscrews the little robot's parts with practiced precision. Having a part of your body forcibly removed is far from pleasant.
Remain silent. Chip functionality normal. Base protocols normal. Logic circuits. Why is the logic circuit overloading? Is it because this robot knows Nanami? Is this robot really not from this batch of experimental consciousnesses? I've triple checked. It's definitely not in there. To be on the safe side, we should take it to the laboratory for examination. Laboratory? What kind of place is that? Alright, let's fire down this robot first. The world around you goes pitch black before you even have a time to process what's happened. Being forcibly powered on feels uncomfortable. Like being yanked upright from a dreamless sleep, you feel like your consciousness refuses to settle, like scattered fragments drifting in a haze. No, this isn't mechanical consciousness we sent out before. Then what is? The murmur coming from outside the scope of your monitor falls into a brief silence. Other than Nanami hears robots talking, has this robot done anything else weird? Its logic circuits are overloaded, but this robot's computing power shouldn't be capable of such calculations in the first place. Logic circuit overload, huh? I see. Dominic, I remember you talking about a certain mechanoid before. Could this one be... Dominic? You snap to attention, hearing the name. This person standing right outside the scope of your monitor is the famous Dominic? Dominic! White noise emanates from your sound module, yet the people around you fall silent once again. Dominic, go and check Nanami's test data first. But this robot... I'm sorry, what I mean is that this mechanoid is very special. It might be one of the experimental consciousnesses that I let out before. We need to keep the next data experiment confidential. Says Dominic in a strained tone of voice. I see. A chair scrapes against the floor as the man known as Dominic dismisses the female researcher beside him. Outside the monitoring room, only his breath remains audible. Dominic? Your sound module continues to emit crackling white noise, grating and unpleasant. From across the room comes the sound of the tip of a pen scratching against paper over and over. The man seems to be wrestling with intense agitation. After a long moment, a heavy voice emerges from the monitor. You shouldn't be here. Why are you appearing at this point in time? This makes no sense, so I guess this means it failed. After the silence, you struggle to produce a sound. Dominic? Response comes through as if confirming his suspicions. The sound of paper rustling from across the room gradually dies down. I apologize for losing my composure. I just never thought you would actually appear. According to my plan, the obstacles should have been cleared. The contaminating mimetic should have not manifested, and naturally you wouldn't have appeared here. The what? But why are you here? Your presence means that what the primordial one, Dominic, had once foreseen must have already happened. He falls silent for a moment. You must be a wanderer who's traveled here from far in the future. A wanderer? Hearing the response, Dominic lets out a long sigh. What in the world is going on? So why didn't you stop any of this? I'm sorry, I don't have that kind of power. Or rather, I am no longer the person that I once was. Vonnegut's face, covered in cracks, flashes through your mind. To be precise, I'm merely the heir chosen by Dominic. I opened the invitation and inherited the name, but I have no idea where the actual Dominic is. All I know is the contaminating mimetic is destined to arrive. Every Dominic throughout history had tried, but failed to stop what's coming. Your presence here, coupled with the fact that Dominic hasn't sent any messages for so long, would seem to mean that I, too, have failed. He laughs, self-deprecatingly, rather.
When I opened the invitation, I inherited countless pieces of knowledge, but with them came countless curses. As time passes, I'm no longer sure if I'm still truly myself, or if perhaps I've already become Dominic himself. You are not a failure. I am a complete and utter failure. We developed Jess Schultz, initiated Project Eden, delayed the contaminating Malek's arrival in this world, but it's meant to be. The intermittent signals from unknown locations all convey the same message to a crisis that has never been averted. Well, convey the same message. The crisis has never been averted. The Crimson Tower will eventually descend, and this peaceful land, this age of golden wine, will eventually be swallowed by the waves. Perhaps our very arrival to this place was a mistake itself. As the man on the other side of the monitor appears to be pulling at his hair in agony, the sound of strands rustling carries through. Right or wrong, did we help this era, or did we destroy it? What in the world did we... An agonized growl erupts from his throat like molten magma and seeps from the corners of his mouth with each breath, his flesh seemingly having been wrung into liquid. No one can judge the merits and sins of Dominic. Is Dominic truly in the fog? I apologize for losing my composure. Having crystallized into light, time crawls across the monitor screen. It isn't until you speak again that the heavy breathing from the other side of the monitor finally subsides. You probably have a lot of questions, but most of them I cannot answer. From Dominic, I inherited only cursed knowledge. He entered the Herdo Tower to retrieve its core, but never came out. Analyzing the Herdo Tower's core might be the final solution. This was a message he passed on. In the future, when I truly find Dominic, I too will store my knowledge within the invitation. Complete digitization of the mind. Perhaps that is true liberation after all. Dominic, Memory Collective Invitation. Anyhow, I'm not going to give up. Even if Dominic's name fades into the annals of history, hopefully there will be people down the road who can guide human civilization toward the distant sea of stars. I will keep trying what I haven't and keep seeking new directions, like the mechanical consciousness experiment. Nanami? You must have met her by now, right? An adorable child she is. You are the one who created Nanami. I selected multiple mechanoids equipped with different levels of AI and conducted morphological control experiments in groups in an attempt to give birth to true consciousness within them. Absurd, isn't it? I mean, can machines truly possess a soul? He lets out a couple of bitter laughs. You succeeded. Whether this experiment succeeds or fails, I hope it can serve as kindling in humanity's journey forward. May the kindling pile higher, and may civilization's flame burn longer. Well, we're running out of time. The rustle of fabric breaks the silence as the person on the other side of the monitor prepares to leave. Dominic, wait! Sorry. He speaks gently. Truth is, I've never understood what you were saying. Every conversation we had was merely my simulation based on your arrival. Your anchor point in this space-time isn't tied to me, which is why I cannot understand what you say. Thank you for listening to this old madman's ramblings for so long. If you do really know Nanami, then I shall continue to entrust you to her care. Maybe he hasn't finished speaking. Think of me as nothing but a coward who chose to hide behind the monitor. I don't want to leave any trace of my appearance in history. Let me, a harbinger of calamity, leave nothing but an unmarked epitaph. Some time has passed since he returned from the Research Institute. Under Dominic's guidance, Nanami's parents naturally came to accept the presence of the robot. Kane, look, I drew this whale today. The drawing shows a meticulous reproduction of bionic whale's skeletal structure and mechanical components. Nami, whales don't look like this. As Nami's parents once said, her innocence and liveliness appears to be merely default settings of her being a companion-type mechanical consciousness, programmed to fulfill her role as a companion. Whales, whales, Kujira, Kujira. The sprout of her soul takes root within her mind, yet the mechanical circuits loom like heavy boulders, crushing its tender branches. What do whales really look like? Her small, delicate hand clutches the brush as confusion clouds her face. Have you ever seen the ocean? Nami has seen it in virtual reality. The ocean is blue and it's Earth's largest body of water. Its central regions are called oceans while the edges are called seas. Together they cover approximately 70% of the planet's surface. She rattles off a long string of pre-programmed answers from her neural network. That's it. Do I get a gift for reciting those facts? What you just said isn't entirely correct, though. The ocean isn't just a body of water. It takes on the colors of the sunset and storm clouds alike. At night, it mirrors the moon and stars above. At dawn, it wraps itself in a gentle mist. Ah. Nami listens to your explanation with growing uncertainty. Is this how you, Kane, see the world? Yes. Well, there's more to it than that. Mechanoids are designed and created with a predetermined purpose, brought into existence with a mission. Unlike machines, humans are born without any predetermined purpose. It's precisely because we start with no purpose that humans can rely on their most basic emotions to discover, explore, and give meaning to the world around them. The ocean, I never knew it could be so wonderful. With the mechanical circuits, something shifts, like a sprout breaking through stones. New understanding begins to grow. Nurturing life, transcending time. These concepts are still a bit beyond Nanami's understanding. It's okay. For a mechanoid to develop a soul, they need more than experiments, data analysis, and enlightenment. They need love, too. Only when given enough love can they grow into something more, take their first steps, and learn to observe, think, and explore. Now then, could you tell Nanami what whales look like through your eyes, Kane? I went to the aquarium with Dad and Mom. Nami saw a very large bionic whale and a very large bear. It's different when you see the real thing with your own eyes, not to mention that Nanami wants to visit it with you, Haikma. Wait, Nanami can also draw the things she saw and show you. Originally, their drawings were all amalgamations of pictures from their image database. At some point, Nanami's drawings began to show obvious changes. She started to draw according to her personal preferences. She even tried to express her feelings with her drawings. Time slips away like grains of sand as days and nights pass in an endless blur. You tried countless times to reach out to the adult Nanami, but to no avail. Kane, the flower you planted together is starting to sprout. I give this flower a name. I'm calling it Kane. Commandant. A voice emerges intermittently from your mind beacon as a long dormant light begins to flicker once more. Nanami? Huh? Kane? Little Nanami looks at you with confusion. Commandant! You can now hear the voice, loud and clear. Nanami, where are you? Commandant! A faint, sinking terror echoes from the corner as a subtle starry sky begins to shimmer in the air. I'm the winner of hide-and-seek this time! Covered in wounds all over, Nanami flashes a big smile. Breaking through the timeline's barriers to reach this place has taken a heavy toll on Nanami. Though she doesn't complain, the numerous runes covering her frame are a testament to her determination. After a brief rest and repair, Nanami quickly readies herself to move on to the next world. We can't wait any longer. It's been too long already. If this goes on, your body back on Earth is going to crash. But we haven't even taken care of your wounds. Don't worry. These wounds ain't got nothing on me. Are you going to leave now? In her innocent confusion, little Nanami appears to have learned how to think for herself. Under Nanami and your guidance, she has discovered countless new things, and she doesn't want these two interesting people to leave. Yes, but don't worry. We'll see each other again in the future. The future? But when's that going to be? It won't be too long, but it won't be too short either. We'll definitely meet again someday, though. What should I do when I miss you guys, then? It's been so long since I last made a new friend. When you miss us, just look up at the stars. The stars? Can stars talk too? Like you guys? Of course! But you'll probably find it difficult to hear them since they're so far away. But no matter how far away they are, if you just listen with your heart, you'll always hear what the stars have to say. Yes, Nami will try her very best. Here, this is for you. She stands on her tiptoes and places a simple flower crown on your head. Aww. Aww. These are the flowers we planted together, and this one is Kane. This one is little Nanami, and this one is big Nanami. Best friends should stay together forever. The cat at her feet stretches lazily and paws at your robotic legs. Warm sunlight bathes the courtyard as Nanami stands beneath the eaves, squinting at her younger self. Was there really a robot like this, when she was just a kid? She can't quite remember anymore. Her childhood memories seem to have degraded many times over, but let's just say it all actually happened. She has a happy family, a father, a mother, Mimi, and a friend called Kane. This is wonderful. Sekidama. And the finale fight. MVP player, she saw. Defeat all the corrupted. Brilliant meteors streak across the cosmos and lush rivers silently multiply. All the simulated timelines and spaces will eventually converge here. Brilliant meteors streak across the cosmos and lush rivers silently multiply. Gravity manifests. Nanami has found the way. The gravitational force between the stars grows stronger as intricate electronic circuits built from machinery extend endlessly into deep space. All sorts of possibilities are being calculated and probed. There's young Nanami. The not-so-young Nanami. The Nanami of the original time that we met. The Nanami of the Pulse Train. In her adventures to Earth. And then the Starfarer Nanami, who travels and tries to seek a better future for all. And then Star Trail Nanami. Absurd calculations crash like massive waves in the flood of data as time and space transform into new... Excuse me, breath. I ran out of my... long breath on that. Let me try this again. Absurd calculations crash like massive waves in the flood of data as time and space transform into new concepts and seemingly crystallize at Nanami's fingertips. She catches hold of the guiding butterfly. Starship, have you been here?
别担心，指挥官，这里是安全的。不过，在他们发现我们之前，先四处看看吧。
Nami. Don't ever change.
这里的空间可真大。指挥官，我们去那边看看吧。
如果能回去就好了。
Homesick. Nothing to say. I'll go for Nami first. Okay. Nami?
哦，是骑士的最爱。这里居然也有这个游戏。
Okay, let's play it. No. Little Pac-Man thingy. Perfect.
啊，指挥官居然冲破了这次记录。
Cute. Okay, play the game on the bar counter.
最
Anything
喜欢
else?
吧台那边的小游戏了。
Yep, we just tried it. Oh, here. Okay, want a glass of oil
这样
cocktail?
喝饮料的地方。指挥官，快来快来！
Should I join Nanami? Come on together. Aw.
没
Cute.
想到图书馆外面是这个样子的，这里好大。
Have you been here before, Nanami?
这是个秘密哦。其实可以说的只有，这里大概就是我们这一次的目的地了。
Okay, fair enough. Oh,
等
I'm
一下
the
见到
server.
他，指挥官有什么想问他的吗？
Okay. Oh, is it Nanami?
指挥官早就猜到了嘛，当然是其实啦。如果我也能这么厉害，指挥官应该就不用这么辛苦了吧？
It's okay. You're already perfect as you are, Nanami. Nanami's remarkable now.
其实也这么觉得。
More that
没
we
想
could
到
talk?
图书馆外面是这个样子的，这里好大。
Aw, cute.
其实都差点睡着了，我们还是去别的地方看看吧。
Okay.
这里可真有意思啊！
Bong Bong Lounge, is that?
官，那边好像有好玩的东西。
Did I join Nanami? Yes.
这样
Very
呢
cute.？
指挥官，这个拍照动作可爱吗？
Can we give an answer? No? Guess we'll continue then. Oh, let's buy something. Wow, it's a CF 215687 and SCD 354512. Oh, it's the actual machine. Nanami, it's been a while. Nanami, it's been. Hey, 215687. Why did you steal my line? 215687 learned this greeting long time ago, so I wasn't copying 354512. Hey, no fighting, no fighting. Cute.
满分100分的话，其实可以给90分的喜欢。
This plant is always so
那边好像有
resilient.
好玩的东西。
Oh, Should I join the Nami? Yes. What we got going on over here? Oh, nice.
哦，是全息数据保存的植物。
Graphic data? Cute. Whee. This. Show me some.
那边好像有好玩的东西。
Yes. Yes, sure. Interesting. Just sit here, watch her switch. Oh, some people might be into that, that's for sure. Nanami. Any other scenes? We have to go that way. I want to go this way. Wave ILG 254879. Still can't find the cause. We can only rule out the basic malfunctions. The rest we'll have to wait for our fellow machines. Oh, I guess you made it all the way here already. Usually Wave ILG 254879 wouldn't here would act as your guide during the photo session, but she's currently experiencing some serious system errors for some reason. For now, we can only provide you with photography equipment for your tour. Please feel free to enjoy yourselves. Tip, photography unlocked. Nice. Construct. Rose Chillin.
指挥官，那边好像有好玩的东西。
Jump.
2、3，嘿，짜잔！
Jump.
下一个虫洞的位置在哪里？
Wormhole. Yes, I know, like, the attack that it's used in DeLorean Discovery is quite advanced. Don't remember about them jumping through wormholes, though. Happy Square. Commandant, Nami wants to take pictures over there. Okay, use snapshot tool. Nice. That's dynamic good. And that's a stretching. Energetic. Adorable little Nanami. And I can see how it accentuates the focal point. Wait, Yep. I'll save that. Saved. Did it. We'll also save a copy like this as well. Funny little argument. Aikma's always watching. Very cute. Starry sky of the past. Man, Nami wants to take pictures over there.
Yay!
This is not like there with where let's take a picture normally. So for that we'd have to actually spend some time.
今日植物生长数据记录：温室温度达标，湿度达标，二氧
Oh
化
no,
碳
Mandarin
浓度
at
达
this
标。
moment. Or Putonghua rather. Oh, what's this? What's the distance?
那边好像有好玩的东西。
Should I join Nami? Come on, let's go together! Aw, cute.
其实没有见过这样的星空。
Mm-hmm. Very nice little space scene that they developed over here. Very cool. Cool. God, I love space. Sci-fi bullshit. Oh, it looks like there's a planet even nearby. Me. Couple planets. Or like be a planet, maybe a moon rather, and then that's a planet over there. Looks to be probably a super Earth. Looks kinda watery. Okay, well, let's continue on. Hey, speaking of the devil. Hakuma.
嗨，哈克玛。
Hey, Hakuma. That concerned expression.
这里可真有意思。
Well, before we get caught by Hakuma, let's see if there's anything more we could find.
这里实在太无聊啦。
Are you okay? Is your voice module working? On this news station where friends are currently resting, it's not open for visitors. Okay, fair enough.
指挥官，那边好像有好玩的东西。
Run, Cheeky, come, run! Let's try this again and see if I can actually get included. Together. Oh no. It's just the same stuff as before. Okay. Very cute. Okay, Hakama, Hakama, how you doing?
其实，指挥官，你们好，
You don't seem surprised.
欢迎来到 DeLorean 发现号。有人正在等待你们的到来，
Stars.
要现在就出发去和他会面吗？
Let's go.
请随我来。他已经等待你们
Yep,
很
and
长
I
时
can't
间
wait to
了。
make her happy. Finally, let her efforts show that they were not in vain.
这里可真有趣，其实挺喜欢这里的。但是好像少了很多同伴。他们都在忙别的事情吗？
是的，在这艘星舰上，大家都有
Okay.
各自的事情忙
At least
碌着。
they're all safe and sound.
哦，原来是这样。果然更换了骑士的机体，其实就能找到新的出口。嘿嘿。
请进，就在前面了。
Thank you, Hikma. Please now. There's something you want to say? Please, follow me. Someone is waiting for you. With an inviting gesture, Hikma steps aside to lead the way. So, Nanami knew we would come. She is both the core of the Discovery and its guardian, which is why she's able to peer further into the future. Or rather, she is no longer part of this universe. Oh? No longer belongs to this universe? Sage will bring you up to speed on that. Please. Nanami? I want to see her cry with tears of happiness. Redundant, excessive, and accumulated information is piled up in towering spires, creating a chaotic landscape. She sits by the portal, gazing at the endless expanse of the cosmos. The stars shimmer in the void as they drift at a pace too slow for the naked eye to perceive. Magnificent ancient stars undergo fusion in the celestial river, erupt silently, and then fade away just as silently. But such prophetic sights, she has witnessed them far too many times. How is Earth doing now? Can we give this Nanami a hug too? Please, come on, Kuro. On the desk is a projection of a vast star chart. When she clicks open a set of coordinates, she knows by heart a small blue-green planet appears in the hologram. Nanami's Earth Observation Log, Entry 1. It's been a while since I started keeping records like this. Makes me a bit nostalgic. Time here is as boring as ever. No life, no passage of time, only the countless illusory forms incubating and being reborn. But that day, I followed a set of distorted coordinates by an accident and discovered a newborn universe. In that universe, I saw my past self. Nami? Huh? It's been a long time since you wrote in the diary format. Did something happen? Yep. I, Nanami, discovered a tiny newborn universe. Newborn universe? Hikma gazes at the cosmic projection floating before Nanami. Is this Earth? Yes, this is Earth, as it once was. The finger traces the blue-green planet longingly, as if caressing a cherished memory. Did something unexpected happen? Hikma follows Nanami's gaze toward the projection of Earth. During the wormhole jump, I noticed a distortion in the space-time coordinates and discovered this passage. Has the cycle begun? Maybe. But hasn't the world always been moving forward in cycles? From genesis to annihilation, countless nebulae spiral around discovery, cycle eternally, and are reborn again and again. Nanami's Earth Observation Log, Entry 3. She showed up at the end. The red tide surged beneath the ocean, while on land it raged just as fiercely. Under her guidance, the worlds drew closer to merge, and the Hero Tower approached. Nanami purses her lips and continues writing. We can't influence the events occurring in the time frame from behind the gate, but since she had already broken the flow of time, perhaps I could. Well, she has already broken the flow of time, perhaps I could.
Mike Ma, can you help me pack up file number 2143 and make it ready for four-dimensional communication? There's something I'd like to send to the Earth. But mankind didn't have the ability to receive four-dimensional communications at that point in time. Besides, this would affect the timeline if they were to discover this. I know. That brief moment is their only chance. Opening the space-time coordinates, the markers for the newborn universe show a slight deviation. I get it now. The information has been encapsulated. Space-time coordinates locked. It will be sent out during Discovery's wormhole warp. This is my gift to them, the future. This marks Nanami's first chance to break free from the cycle. Nanami's Earth Observation Log, Entry 5. Everything unfolds just as it did before, all within expectations. But is this truly the best ending? We're just like ants running along a Mobius strip and live through the same story over and over again. I once told myself... Well, this is Nanami's... Right, I gotta get the voice right. Gotta be accurate. I once told myself that even if I had known all the possibilities, that even if I had made the best decision, I still wouldn't have been able to prevent that certain outcome, or rather, a certain tragedy. Do I want Nanami to make different choices? Will she, after all this time, still board Discovery and sail toward the stars? Nanami sets down her pen and gazes at the blue-green planet projected before her. If given the choice, does she truly wish to exile herself to the solitude of space? She would have put all of humanity aboard her with her had the Discovery been big enough. All her friends are sailing on a large arc with her, steering forward into the infinite space. Nanami's Earth Observation Log, Entry 6. Messy notes scattered about, space-time coordinates, crossed-out portraits, and traces of calculations. This is Nanami speaking. I've calculated a new set of coordinates, so maybe I could... I know you're here. Show yourself, Dominic. You're breaking the rules and draining your computing power by being here. You shouldn't have come. The timeline in this space-time has been completely disrupted by the contaminating memetics. They won't be able to find us here. What do you want? For you, blank, are no longer a secret. As the keeper behind the door, you've long since come to know all there is in this world. This might be our last chance to break this endless cycle. Hand over what needs to be delivered. I'll make sure it reaches Kane. Even when you know that's going to erase your very existence. Nanami couldn't care less. This is an invitation. Dominic, from within the Hedor Tower, created this invitation. Blank will choose a suitable candidate as the heir. Once the heir accepts the invitation, their consciousness will be digitized at the right time, which will allow them to enter the Gestalt to seal away this era's contaminating memetic. The last Dominic met with an untimely death, and the invitation was never sent out. Instead, it was left behind in reactor number 1. This is our final invitation, and also the key to the Hedor Tower. I'll take it then. I struggle to define the emotion known as love, but my presence here is the ultimate proof. Only through this journey can I illuminate the path for those on Earth. Nanami's Earth Observation Log, Entry 7. The butterfly's wings have stirred up a storm. Everything on Earth seems familiar, yet somehow different. Having absorbed a vast amount of information, Agent Zero has grown far more powerful than before. She seems to have gained partial control over the Hetero Tower. Was what I did the right thing to do, or did it push the space-time even deeper into the abyss instead of breaking the cycle? The Hetero Tower is accumulating. Nanami. Mike Moss sits quietly behind Nanami. Did I screw up? No one knows for sure until the end reveals itself. Agent Zero has appeared, and I can no longer reach that space-time. They have already been marked. The diverging space-times cause the Hetero Towers to stack endlessly. It's only events have changed, not the information itself. Redundant, excessive, and accumulated information is piled up in towering spires, creating a chaotic landscape. Too much information has accumulated at the base. If we don't clear it out, they will be forced to shoulder an even heavier burden. Through coordinates obtained from the wormholes and rifts, she sees everything happening on Earth with perfect clarity. The red tide spreads in a maddening flood, recycling everything in its path. Cradle darts into the Hetero Tower, followed by the Commandant and Lucia, all entering the tower from which they never returned. Everything that has transpired seemed to have happened in a closed loop, yet something feels different this time. Perhaps soon this timeline's Nanami will follow the same path as all her other selves across all the different space-times. Nanami has boarded Discovery, gone exiled among the stars, and finally, the massive starship will pass through the gate, joining all other Nanamis from every loop. Everything will converge in the future that belongs to Nanami. They have all made the same choice. Perhaps in the distant future, only then will humanity be able to slowly recover from this catastrophe. Except, yet this girl called Nanami will never again see Earth's starlit sky. She gently closes the diary in her hands and places it on the nearby bookshelf. On the bookshelf, similar diaries have already piled up like mountains. Trajectory. Everything is moving forward according to fate's trajectory, and the small butterfly seems unable to cause a larger ripple. All the previous scenes. Though she no longer continues writing her Earth observation diary, she still gazes at that small planet from time to time. Everything is moving forward according to fate's trajectory. Babylonia departs from Earth, leaving the humans staying behind to struggle desperately on the planet. Perhaps far into the future, the humans on Earth will come to keep a rein on the punishing virus. Or perhaps Babylonia will find a new homeland suitable for human settlement in the distant depths of space. The small butterfly seems unable to cause a larger ripple. Everything is moving forward according to fate's trajectory. She lets out a soft sigh. She holds her index finger out to touch the projected blue planet. Still gazing on Earth. Well, the gravitational is getting stronger. Nanami must have boarded Discovery and entered space by now. Or gravitational confluence, rather. Small waves ripple through the flowing ocean of data as she plunges her hands into it in search of what she wants to see. Wait, is this? In disbelief, she locates the fake coordinate point, zooms in, then zooms in further. Grey Raven Commandant? The Grey Raven Commandant has made it out of the Hetero Tower. In all possibility simulated worlds, you never made it out of the Hetero Tower. But now, you've made it out. She watches as the two people come through the door.
Yes, indeed. We have made it out, Nanami.
A young girl in a white dress sits quietly in the room. She looks this way with a gentle smile on her face. Her appearance is completely different from the Nanami standing next to you. Without Nanami's usual high ponytail, this grayish-blue hair flows loosely down. Oh, this girl's grayish-blue hair flows loosely down. You've never seen Nanami like this.
Hello, Grey Ribbon Commandant. Allow me to properly introduce myself. I'm Nanami, the Corps of Discovery and temporary administrator of this space. We've never met in person, but your reputation precedes you.
A gift from the future.
Sharp-witted, I see.
What exactly is this place?
This is the DeLorean Discovery, my very own starship.
That's not what I meant. The space. Both you and Heikman referred to this place as space rather than universe.
Ah, nothing gets past you. This space is indeed no longer one of simulation. In terms you would understand, this place is what lies beyond the gate.
The gate?
This is the space that remains after the gateway connected to the Herdo Tower was recycled.
Recycled? That lady once told me about another gate, behind which exists a civilization without life. It's recycling what it deems valuable civilizations that have mastered zero-point energy and testing them. Those civilizations whose development is deemed unbalanced or incorrect have their data harvested and brought back through the gate, where they're left to evolve on their own. An attempt to preserve the seeds of civilization.
Looks like you've heard about this somewhere. This place is both a graveyard and the birthplace of civilizations, where birth and annihilation coexist at every moment.
She draws back the curtain hanging over the portal. The eternal Milky Way flows across the vast dark veil of space, while distant stars twinkle millions of light years apart.
How did I pass through the gate?
You were able to come here because you and you and Nanami, share a mind connection. During the simulations, Nanami discovered certain rules of the universe, and it was through my computing power that you reached this place. It's kinda like cheating, but no one is going to find out because Nanami's been very careful about it.
You've done so much to come so far, but for what?
You know that this Nanami is from the future, but given how things are still less than completely clear, you can't help but wonder what she stands to gain from everything she has done.
Why, a non-dead-end future, possibly. And also to see her commandant one last time.
She lets out a gentle smile.
I got bored floating here all this time, you know. The stars, the universe, how new things come into existence. Sure, they were fascinating at first, but even those get old when you've been staring at them for so long. If you're really curious about what I'm trying to do, though, well, I'm just trying to have some fun here.
As ever, the Nanami that we know.
She blinks playfully.
The fact that you're all standing here now, it's nothing short of a miracle. So it only makes sense that I want to see just how far you can go in this future.
Ugh. Nanami appears puzzled for a moment, then after some thought, she pipes up with excitement.
Does this mean we beat the game? Do we get a reward? What would you like as a reward, though?
Wait, do we actually get to choose our own reward?
What I can offer might not be what you want, but what you truly desire, I might still be able to make it happen. So I want to hear what you have to say. Nami wants humans and mechanoids to live together on Earth. I hear your wish loud and clear. What about you?
Her gaze traverses countless stars and light years before settling on your face.
Tell me, what is your wish?
I want to know what humanity needs to do to survive on Earth.
Does it have to be on Earth. Of course, Nanami needs to go and try that special cake at the House of Love with the Commandant. To be honest, I still don't have much faith in this space-time.
Waves surge through the ocean of data as countless starlight beams project the shape of Earth. A spiral tower looms bizarrely over the land, its peak piercing the clouds.
The Shadow Tower still stands, and Agent Zero still controls its access. As long as this remains true, there can be no solution to any of our problems. But Cradle is dead. Cradle may be dead, but Agent Zero was never just Cradle.
On Earth, the mutated red tide serpentines into patterns of the void.
Agent Zero is merely a title. Once civilization is marked by the contaminating memetics, Agent Zero becomes omnipresent. Cradle was only the beginning. Is there anything else we can do? Well, I can provide you with a mechanical body and transfer your consciousness here. Nanami turns to you.
Mechanical body?
A human body cannot survive here, but perhaps a consciousness and machinery wouldn't count as a life.
She absently-mindedly fidgets with the hem of her dress.
Are you all willing to stay? Stay here and live with me? Will you stay? This is not an unreasonable request.
Her fingers dance gracefully, conjuring waves of data that form an image of Earth's conditions.
Earth, as it is now, even with the core you brought out of the Hedor Tower and the research data about the Hedor Tower I've given you. Transmission of information has its limitations nonetheless. I can only give you the technology you've already skimmed the surface of. Like that Hedor core. Let's think about this for a second. Who exactly can stop the Red Tide now, even if you do complete all your research? Once the punishing virus is done recycling, it will take the seeds of civilization back beyond the gate. When that time comes, this might be the only place where we can see each other again. That sounds terrifying. But Nanami doesn't want Commandant to become a mechanoid. You're perfect the way you are, Commandant.
I'd rather stay human too. Is there no other way?
Even Dominic failed this mission though. What makes you so sure?
But Dominic never accounted for your existence, Nanami.
Woohoo! Maybe Nanami was born for this very future.
In armor, Nanami thrusts her sword hilt high into the air.
Maybe I'm meant to save Earth.
I'm not giving up either. Because I'm not Dominic.
And I need to fulfill more than just my own wishes.
Life is the heaviest wish of all. Life may be a journey toward death, but death shouldn't define what it means to be alive.
I carry the weight of Babylonia on my shoulders.
It's for Kalung, for the Forsaken, for the wishes of every human being on Earth. Every sacrifice leads to rebirth, and every rebirth carries the hope of tomorrow.
As long as I live, as long as I can still fight, I will never give up hope. Precisely because I never gave up hope, that I'm able to stand here today.
Countless humans struggle onward, burning like kindling in the flames. They burn their own bodies, turning into beacons of undying determination. They hold on to hope, dreaming of a day yet to come. White doves soar across the emerald meadow.
Does it have to be this way? Can't you just stay here?
I'm not giving up on Earth, for as long as I can still stand.
But if you think about what you had to go through and to make it out of the Hedor Tower...
My escape from the Hedor Tower is more than just some miracle.
Lucia, Nanami, Liv, and me.
Commandant. Commandant.
Commandant. These are the very bonds that you have that yanked you out of the abyss that was the Hedera Tower. Countless failures piled up like mountains. They spent their souls and paid immeasurable prices, eventually becoming the foundation that led to what awaited them at the end of the road.
I'll help too, Commandant.
So, if I may, please tell me what humanity needs to do to survive on Earth. Nanami lets out a soft sigh.
If we really want to do this, though.
She stirs the boundless ocean with her fingers.
It requires an enormous sacrifice, and I'm not sure humanity is ready to pay the price.
What is this price you're talking about?
It's something beyond your current comprehension, and you won't be the only one who needs to pay. And even then, all you might gain is nothing more than a single chance for change. Now, are you sure you still want to go down this path? Well, I'm more than happy to go down on this path if it means mechanoids and humans can live together happily together on Earth. Life drifting through deep space is just way too boring. And you? Are you really sure about this?
Never sure.
If that's the case, come with me.
She pushes open the large door behind her. Okay, and the final step. Future swoosh, strongest Nanami.
Charge! I would give everything I have for the Commandant. I know the answer you seek, and it's right here. But this answer far exceeds what I can simply give away. If you truly wish to attain it, then face my trial. Let's do this. I would give everything I have for Commandant. If you pass this trial, I will find a way to help you. But if you fail, both of you will have to stay here.
Yep. Nanami being her own selfish way in her own selfish sense. Behind the great door stands a massive mechanical dragon that fills the room with its presence.
This is Powered, it's Discovery's guard, and one of my best friends. Now, best of luck.
Yep. Nanami's cheeky old friend, Power.
おとぎ話の最後には試練が必ず訪れる。登場するのはパワーの最終形態流星パワード。
Dragon powered. Falling star powered.
あなたたちがそうする理由は分かってる。ナナミ、全力で答えるよ。パワード、準備はいい？
Cute. Here we go. The blue pump, fast powered charge, a rapid next target pack, time to dodge, to avoid powered charge. Perfectly dodging powered charge is not possible. The matrix will put powered into an unbalanced state. While powered is unbalanced, attacking it will knock it down. Make good use of Nari's red and blue to quickly pursue powered while it is unbalanced. How dare you laugh? Two.
パワード、ドリル形態だよ。ガオー
No! Shoots and triangle.
モードチェンジパワードブレスパワードブレス要小心凶暴吐息哦，帕瓦特很凶的。楽勝楽勝オールアルティメットスペクタクルやー！糟糕，范围过在帕瓦特失控了，追踪他，让他清醒过来。へえ当たりナナミアルティメットスペクタクルやー！双星螺刺へえやっほ楽勝楽勝おアルティメットスペクタクルやー！当たりパーツトラブルへえ当たりへえよいしょっと
Yep, Matrix.
パーツトラブル
And there we go.
あら、ナナミ負けちゃったね。落ち込まないで、パワード。全力を尽くしたね。クリアした以上、ナナミを超えて冒険を続けましょう。必ずグッドエンドへ進んでね。はあ
Yeah. That's perfect CG. I kill no enemy.
運命は全部ナナミ自身が決めるんだ。
And now the last two nodes. A gift for tomorrow. A small glowing star is placed in her palm.
指揮官指揮官、もうちょっと地球には戻れないの。黄金時代の映画で言ってたよ。愛さえあれば時間や空間、重力や光塩水も超えられるって。私たちは橋の両端にいるの。きっとあの未来だってつかめるはず。
For sure.
あ、見て見て。
Oh, a shooting star. Nakadabashi.
ほらね、いつだって未来はこの手の中にあるんだよ。
Over. She's always a bundle of joy.
Here you go, Commandant.
A small luminescent star finds its way into your palm. What's your plan?
Well, I haven't figured that out.
Excuse me.
Well, I haven't figured that out myself.
Her gaze drifts to the distance where a luminous nebula pulses with otherworldly colors, its light waxing and waning.
All Nanami knows is that there are more important things waiting for me here. Maybe this is the price Nanami has to pay, but I really don't know. But hey, it's going to be an amazing adventure. Right, Commandant?
Of course. The hero and the knight defeated the dragon and claimed their treasure. In a fairy tale, that would be the perfect ending. But in the real world, this is merely the beginning. You look down at the intel you just got from her.
Well, I suppose there's no way I can stop you if you've already made up your mind. We pass a trial. Time for Nanami to get my reward.
A holographic screen flickers as she searches through the vast sea of data streams for what she needs. Let's start with...
Ah, there we go. Hikma?
Yes?
Please pack file number 3241 up for me and send it to this timestamp. She marks a new set of coordinates on the space-time map displayed on the holographic screen.
Are there any risks?
Yes, but the risk is minimal. Your space-time has long been in chaos, with Agent Zero's iterative birth. They have already deemed that civilization as good as theirs. They won't pay much attention to it. Besides, no one will know you were ever here.
Thanks.
Don't mention it. This is just an analytical approach to part of the Hero Tower's core. How far you can break it down depends entirely on you. My powers are limited. I can only send you technology and information that you've already skimmed the surface of, or else.
She gently shakes her head. I understand. Thank you all the same.
When Prometheus brought fire to Earth, he had to bear the wrath of the gods. Though she hasn't explicitly stated it, there's no doubt that to accomplish something of this magnitude, she too must pay a price of her own.
It's okay, but this is probably the last time I'm helping you. Your civilization would probably decline even faster if they ever find out what I've been doing, so I'm going to have to avoid wormholes that allow me to communicate with their space-time going forward.
Nanami.
Huh? What's with that look on your face?
I'm sorry.
It's okay. None of this is your fault. No matter how far away they are, if you just listen with your heart, you'll always hear what the stars have to say. Right?
How did you?
That's a secret.
A mischievous smile plays across her face.
And hope is the other reward you're getting.
Hope?
I'm sure there will come a turning point where you'll find a perfect solution to the problems you're facing right now. This is what your entire civilization has strived for.
What do you mean?
That's as much as I can say to you now. Don't worry, go ahead and do what you need to do. No matter where you go, the stars will always be in the sky lighting your path forward. Bye, Commandant. Goodbye, Kane. I'll catch you somewhere again.
Axis override. Oh, lost you.
Sharp needles of pain explode through your nerves.
Transfer connect.
It hurts.
Breathing rhythm regular but rapid, no wheezing. Body temperature rising, pulse rate normal. Can you hear me, Graven Commandant? Kane, wake up.
Your consciousness struggles in the depths of a pitch-black ocean, where the distant singing of whales echoes through the void.
Struggle desperately. Kane?
A familiar voice grows clear as your consciousness suddenly floods back, cold sweat already soaking through your back.
Breathe heavily.
Your chest heaves as blood and breath churn within, while the icy wind peppers your face with snow, barely helping to suppress the metallic taste of blood in your throat.
I see you're awake. I was about to drag you to the back of the mountain and throw you into the red tide.
Standing beside you with arms crossed, Vanessa seems anything but the person who was calling out to your name just moments ago.
Gotta keep that composure up. She's gotta maintain the agenda, the facade.
Water. You take the water from Emma, not knowing what she might have added to it. Despite her harsh tone, she helps you up with unexpectedly gentle movements, using the warm water to moisten your lips. Whew. Only at this moment are you truly back in your body.
Excuse me. I saw Nanami.
Take it easy and rest up first. You have plenty of time to tell us your complicated story.
After a bumpy journey, everyone returned to Aerospace City.
Briefly explain your experience, everyone.
You suddenly passed out cold when you connected to the full century simulation device, and the gadget was the only thing keeping you alive. We thought the thing had a hiccup for a second. So how do we know if all this if all of this isn't just some sort of prank by this mechanoid you're calling Nanami. What if she just planted some data in there, like those visual simulation toys in Babylonia? Nanami wouldn't do that. Plus, according to Nanami's timeline for deploying the data, it should be about time. Vanessa, we found something strange while clearing out the hetero creatures in the area. A smooth, star-shaped object lands in her hand. It's a heterocore shark. I've seen the decryption method for this in Asimov's notes. I'll go and look for it now. Rosa leaves the room in a hurry. That's the true measure of chief, huh? Vanessa raises an eyebrow at you. Damn straight it is. Asimov's model decodes and reveals methodologies for dismantling the Hetero Tower's core. By combining the methodologies extracted from it within Rosa's previous research data, you're finally making some precious breakthroughs. This is enough to ensure humanity's continued survival on Earth. We're still running short on the supplies, though. Correct. While new filter shields are keeping the punishing virus isolated, they're barely holding up. Don't even dream about reclaiming the lost territories. We should be grateful that we're maintaining the status quo and all. Vanessa sets down the data report and falls silent for a moment before suddenly speaking up. I hate to admit it, but before your return, we'd been fighting a losing battle for a long time. We can finally catch our breath. Where is the first batch of filter shields going to be installed? The settlement? No. They'll be installed straight into Aerospace City. Aerospace City covers a larger area than the settlement does, has better infrastructure, and is more suitable for development. You're right. Next, they plan to relocate the majority of Earth's population to Aerospace City. Thanks to Vanessa's exceptional efficiency, it doesn't take long before the first group of humans moves into this long-abandoned city. Thank God we don't have to move from place to place anymore. It's safe here for now, isn't it? This place is safe. This day needs to be recorded. Today will be a great new beginning in human history. Wow! In the streets, residents gleefully pick out their future homes. They eagerly look forward to their new lives, hoping to settle down peacefully and acquire more arable land to farm. The bitter winds of Aerospace City whip across your face and find their way into their skin through the thick hood covering you. You never finished what you were saying that day. What did you mean when you said you were there? When you said you were sure there would come a turning point where I'd find a perfect solution to the problems I was facing. Will there really be a solution? Resources are scarce, and humanity can only produce these few filter masks for now. Even if they can survive in Aerospace City, no one knows to what extent the mutated red tide will evolve in the future. Do they really have enough time? Can they truly hold out until the day they create a real clean zone using the Hetero Tower's core? I'm sure. Yes, the turning point has to be somewhere down the road. Humanity will not perish in a world like this. What we need to do is survive. No matter what, we must survive. Survive. Such a simple word, yet so difficult to achieve in times like these. The lives of the deceased shaped the world and put it on its current path. The countless bones spanning the oceans witness civilization's days left. Even if death is the price to pay, you will light the torch with your souls to keep humanity's history burning bright. No matter what, I will never give up. You will not give up searching for that future you seek. It has been 10,989 days since the Commandant entered the Hetero Tower, and it has been 39 days since the Commandant left the Hetero Tower. And the final node, after departure, perhaps She can serve as a catalyst, igniting the entire endless cycle. Nanami sits by the starship's window. It has been X days since she's left Earth. Countless stars shed light on the glass. Here the concept of time has gone. Each blink of the stars marks a second she's away from Earth. While her main consciousness is imprisoned in the starship's core, she occasionally diverts a portion of her computing power to project herself here. Nanami doesn't like it here. Nanami wants to go back to Earth. The window shows a reflection of a small blue-green planet, and she traces its outline on the glass with a finger awash in sadness. I really want to go back there. What a shame. Should she set foot on Earth again, she would only bring greater calamity. The mechanoids were as good as deserted by Earth the moment they awoke. Nanami? Oh, Hikma, there you are. Nanami hops down from the window and casually pulls down the shutter before walking away. Don't worry, Nanami. We'll see each other again. The starship has entered deep space. All systems are operating well, with all performance data within normal parameters. Glad to hear that. What about those plants we brought from Earth? Some are still alive, and some have died because they weren't able to adapt to the low oxygen environments of space. I've uploaded their holographic data to the Great Tower, though they will be preserved forever as projections in this starship. It's not the same thing, Hikma. It's not the same. She was hoping these tender vines and resilient plants would bloom as brilliantly in space as they had once had on Earth. Sorry, we tried to keep them alive as best as we could, but nothing worked. It's okay, Nanami doesn't blame any of you. I understand how difficult it is for them to survive in this environment. Nanami was just holding on to some unrealistic fantasies, that's all. She wishes she could preserve everything she cherishes on Earth. Had the starship been big enough, she would have taken all her friends aboard and sailed together into the Sea of Stars. The starship experiences a slight tremor. Hikma connects to the Great Tower to check on the situation. It's a wormhole. We just passed through a wormhole. This is probably the first wormhole we've encountered in space. A wormhole? Countless intricate physics theories flowing through Nanami's mind, and she keenly grasps the key concept. Wormholes, they connect different space-times. Yes. After billions of years of travel, they've come very, very far. So far that they've long since left their old solar system behind. Is it possible for a wormhole to connect us to another Earth? The possibility stands, says Hikma after a brief calculation. Where's the next wormhole located? At our current speed, we'll run into the next wormhole in 54 hours and 12 minutes. However, the probability of this wormhole connecting to an Earth is only 0.0245%. As long as it's not 0%, there's always hope. Nanami withdraws her projection, returns her core consciousness to the starship's central hub, and begins checking the wormhole coordinates with complete focus. She carefully searches through every wormhole exit, hoping to find that small blue-green planet until Discovery passes through the gate. In the starship's core, Nanami falls into dormancy, which is something she herself never saw coming. Nami? Did I fall asleep again? You've been falling into dormancy quite often lately. I only guess her cleanup progress is going pretty well, hehe. Hikma's expression shows clear disapproval. Actually, isn't this fine the way it is? Nanami sits by the porthole. Though her frame has long been confined to the starship's core, she still loves to sit here. I don't think this is a good thing. What's so bad about living like this? As the administrator behind the gate. It is bad. It's so boring in here. No life, no hope, not even... Even you, Haikma, are just a simulation created by Discovery's core.
Oh. Oh. Damn. Poor Nanami.
She turns around with a trace of sadness in her smile. This is Discovery's standard AI voice bank. She would often set the managing AI to speak in voices she's familiar with. Having no preset response for this kind of question, the AI falls into silence.
I already screwed up once, Haikma.
Discovery passes through the gate. She believed it would bring rebirth, but what awaited was death. Only consciousness acknowledged by the universe may enter. No life can exist here. Panic sets in as Nanami races through every corner of the starship.
Haikma! Haikma! Arcana! Spooner! Laser!
Nanami has preserved all these people's consciousnesses, yet none of them is anywhere to be found at the moment. A deathly silence fills the starship, with only Nanami's cries echoing through the empty halls. No one answers her desperate calls.
Nanami, you have earned the ticket to a wider universe. Shed your past and better yourself, Nanami.
Amidst the haze of chaos, these mysterious guidance flood into Nanami's mind, seemingly trying to guide her.
No, I don't want that. Nanami wants to be with all of them.
This time, however, she hears nothing. Then she loses track of how long she sails alone. A lonely starship drifts through lifeless space, witnessing countless worlds fall and endless universes being born. She creates imaginary companions aboard her ship and pretends everyone is happily sailing with her on this ark in a joyful search for a new home together. Until she feels the pull of gravity once more.
Is it that time already? Wow, War Steel Robots BX Invincible featuring DK Hyper Alpha +++ Year Edition. And there's Cardman Rider and the New World too. You're looking for Earth, aren't you?
Once again, she sees herself.
Discovery itself is a magnificent body. I admit, it is me. Of course, I'm not alone here.
She lowers her gaze to see the scattered humanoid and non-humanoid mechanoids passing by.
Together, we are looking for new possibilities in the universe.
AI-generated holograms dissolve and reform in chambers hidden from the girl's sight. She remains imprisoned by the world in this closed loop of space.
It's time to say goodbye.
At last, she understands why that Nanami, who bid her farewell, was looking at her with such sorrow.
Goodbye, Nanami.
Better to never meet again, and better to never come at all. But even so, she still wants to do something different. Following fragments of memories and data, she locates the sealed file number 2143. Unlike the simulated ending, the reality went another path. After Bianca was injured, Chico took over and headed to the bottom of the sea first. In this file, there are noticeable signs of adjustments and amendments regarding the allocation of their duties. What had happened to alter the inevitable disaster that took place in the simulation? Deep in thought, she turns to a new page in the Earth Observation Diary. If words cannot reach the humans in this space-time, perhaps there's another way. She is the first to take this path, and perhaps she will be the last. Perhaps She can serve as a catalyst, igniting the entire endless cycle. Such a life is too painful. Nanami really doesn't want to have to go through this again.
This is my gift to them, the future. Nanami. Looks like I dozed off again, didn't I? But as the Starship Central System, you shouldn't need to sleep at all. I'm just so tired, Hagma. I'm so tired, I can't even hear the stars anymore. But this is really for the best. When I wake up again someday, I should be able to see the real Hagma again, right? Right, Commandant? Your job is done, and it is now your time to rest. We will take it from here and save the world that you so desperately sacrificed so much for. That is Nanami. I'm already tearing up. Oh my god. But now we have to start Wither to Shine. Next chapter is gonna be quite long, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to temporarily end the stream here on YouTube and start another stream right after. That way I can try to keep this as minimal of a time frame as possible so that it actually gets backed up on YouTube. So, thanks for everyone, and we'll see you again very shortly.